Okay. Hello. Hi. Hey there. How's it going, everyone? It's your favorite programming error that just refused to be fixed code here. And we are back with Doki Doki Literature Club, specifically Doki Doki Club meetings, because stuff. I'm gonna boot everything up now. Should only take a second. Once again, fresh install was grabbed. We're ready for episode 39. And I am playing it just in time. The 40th episode has not released yet, but judging by the fact that there's already been teasers and everything, I assume in time for next week, the 40th episode will probably have released, I think. I might be wrong. And if so, then that's perfect, because then I'll be able to do the same thing I'm doing this week, which is DDLC on Tuesday and Genshin on Thursday. Assuming I still need to do more Genshin by then. But yeah, that's basically the long and short of my plans and everything. I'm curious to see where this goes, and I'm curious to see if we'll be seeing more of, the new literature club back at the old school, or how things will go there, or if we're going to be mainly focusing on our main cast again. I guess we're about to find out, and Spinne, congrats on being first. Now then, you know the drill. Doki Doki Club Meetings is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated in any way with Team Salvado. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game files for Doki Doki Literature Club are required to play this mod and can be downloaded for free on the official website or on Steam. Please consult the readme.txt contained in the mod download for more information. By playing DDCM episode 39, you agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club and accept any spoilers contained within. I still agree. I always agree. Hollow when you should be happy? I wonder what that's about. Hollow when you should be happy. Now, the first person I'm gonna think about when it comes to feeling hollow when you should be happy would be our depressed girl Sayori, but Monica has been on a downward spiral recently as well, so I don't know. Also, hi Eric, hello, happy to see you. Happy to see you. Hope you are well. Okay. Well, there is really not much to load here, so I suppose we'll just hit new game. And hi, hello, the dev himself is here. How's it going? Yes, you did make it back. Happy to have you on board again. It's always extra fun when the developer is in chat. Plus, maybe I can find some more typos or whatever. I have found a few in the past. Maybe I'll get a few more today. I'm gonna be on the lookout as per usual. And Gwen, hello! Hi there! With the Haitsuki. Alright, now, let me hop right in. I am still me. Now, how is this episode gonna start? Oh, right to MC's room, okay. Something. But. No. MC starts rapidly panting, barely able to catch his breath. Gotta be somewhere. Wait, no! Not in! And there he is. Entered into a lottery Steam game by doing so. I am? I am not aware! I'm not sure if I want to be aware of anything. Bro is definitely having a... That is one interpretation, Eric. I don't think that's what's happening, but sure, let's go with that one. He looked at too many of the Sayori pictures on his wall. MC runs for his phone. Speak of the devil. I assume he probably had another nightmare of Sayori possibly, doing another one of her stunts. I'll just say, hey Van, you awake yet? Sayori? MC rushes out the door. Yeah, he definitely. Sayori, are you... MC backs away against the low wall of the windowed side of the hall. Then he slowly shrinks down against it. Oh, not just the rope, Eric. Sayori has done even more. Sayori has actually tried to use club presidency powers to completely erase herself from existence and make sure nobody even misses her. She even tried that at this point. So I understand why MC is a bit concerned about Sayori after everything that happened. But Sayori is slowly doing better. As much as she can, obviously. He closes his eyes and takes a few short, deep breaths. Then he runs to the door and opens it. Aggressively. Sayori, are you... I think I know what he walked in on. Oh gosh, oh man, sorry, I came here for Sayori, I didn't... She did say she would invite boys to her room. Yep. Someone... Maybe not just changing. The thing is, Ayami did say she would invite other people into... Ayami did say she would invite boys into her room, so... That's in a couple seconds, oh! I see. So that's still happening. Alright.
It's fine. No need to worry yourself. It happens. Give me just a moment. Now then.
I'm really sorry, Ayami. I should have learned my lesson after the first time?
Well, like I said the first time, I honestly don't mind. Sayori's my roommate, and you are her very loving and handsome boyfriend. And some intrusions are to be expected. And honestly, a bit of romantic urgency is to be commended in a man.
Girl to the team. Oh boy.
My boyfriend is visiting later today, and I'll be glad if he's as much of a man of action as you are. Just consider knocking before I start to find it more than coincidental that you keep barging in while I'm dressing.
And what will she do if she finds it more than coincidental? Again, she is the type to sleep around with a bunch of guys. Now, obviously, MC is in a committed relationship, so I sure would hope Ayami doesn't try anything in that department, but I'm just saying. Never face forward again. Dear God. It is coincidental. I'm really sorry, Ayami. It won't happen again. She'll fucking do it again. I'm sure she will. The forward facing or...
No problem. Anyway, she's still asleep. She's been pretty mentally okay lately, so I'm pretty sure she's just sleeping in a little. She doesn't have class until later today, I think. I think I'm gonna go grab some breakfast. I'll leave you two alone for a little.
You don't have to worry about that today. But Ayami, thanks for always keeping track of how Sayori's doing and helping her. I'm really glad you're her roommate.
And I'm really glad you're her boyfriend. But right now I'm starving, so I'm off. Toodles.
Sayori? Are you okay? Well, that's certainly a quote, isn't it? How interesting quote to be drawn from the hat. MC firmly shakes Sayori awake. You with me there, Bun?
Oh, hello, handsome man.
Hi, Bun.
Do you want to get in and snuggle a little before I have to go to class?
Sounds good to me.
my gosh, your heart's beating really fast.
Yeah, I guess I just get really excited still, snuggling with you. Of course, yeah, that's totally it. Spinny, I know you're doing this because you know it'll upset me. Which is why I understand you're doing it, but still, wow. And then you certainly are a person.
I have a lot of missed texts from you. Did you have another nightmare?
Yes,
You don't have to lie to me about that.
I know. I just don't like to make you feel bad.
It's okay. I don't worry as much anymore. You know that.
Yeah, but still.
Really, MC, it's okay. You don't need to protect me so much from bad feelings. It's not that bad anymore.
I still feel like... I'm not sure how to put it.
Yeah, but it's okay. Relax.
Sit there. Imagine you can't pin anymore.
Your heart still isn't slowing down. What happened this morning?
I had a nightmare. I texted you because I was anxious, and then I came here.
It seems like you had a panic attack to me.
I didn't.
Oh, I would know.
Sayori turns in the bed and puts her hand on MC's face. She smiles faintly.
I used to have them all the time. It's okay.
Sayori cradles MC's head.
Nothing's wrong. Everyone's safe.
That actually helps.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I used to fantasize that someday, well, this is kind of silly.
What is it? I'm curious.
In the past, when I'd feel bad, it used to make me feel so much better to touch you at all, or have you tell me it will be okay. I felt better, but also weak and useless. So I used to fantasize that someday I get really strong and I could help you feel better. And now I'm doing it.
How does it feel, reassuring your poor, weak, wounded boyfriend?
Hey, be nice to yourself. You're not weak.
He is. He's also incredibly dense. Actually, not as much anymore. He's had his character arc.
But the strange thing is, I don't feel really elated about it or anything. I'm not suddenly overjoyed that I'm able to help.
So how does it feel?
I feel concerned. It's not like you to be so overwhelmed. You're strong. I just want you to feel better. That's the only thing I feel.
Still have a little to treat? I guess so. He needs that density. That density is what attracted all the girls to him. Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. He was so dense, he created his own gravitational pull. Which is why all the girls just were so attracted.
I just want you to feel better. That's the only thing I feel.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. It feels like worry.
Event Horizon. I don't think he creates an Event Horizon anymore at this point. But he definitely used to. I understand. I totally do. Kill to Sayori MC is right. I totally understand, Eric. I do understand. Absolutely.
By a weird way, it feels nice because I'm not focused on myself. Or, well, I wasn't until I started talking about this. But now I'm thinking about myself, and...
MC kisses Sayori. Call me when emails. I hope I'll remember to ping you. If I don't, chat, remind me, or ping Spinne for me. I think I feel better now.
Me too.
I should go back to my dorm and get my uniform on. I'll run back and meet you here.
Actually, if you don't mind waiting a minute, I'll just change and I'll walk with you back to your dorm, and then we can walk together. Plus, we need to meet with Natsuki before class starts. Almost forgot.
MC turns away as Sayori gets out of bed and starts changing. MC, why do you turn away? MC, you have gone so much further with Sayori. Seeing her change, you wouldn't see anything new at this point, MC. You wouldn't be seeing anything new.
You know, at some point, if we end up getting married and living together, you'll have to stop being so modest.
Probably, but not yet.
All set. Ready to go?
I think so.
You're really not weak at all, you know. It worries me a little that you said that. If you were weak, neither of us would be here right now, probably.
Don't say that. Besides, I feel a lot stronger now. There's just something about you that makes me feel better.
I feel the same way.
Look at them, absolute power couple. Meanwhile, Natsuki's reading. Does he just leave the room, bro? Nah, why would he? Well... Oh, hello, Yuri.
Well, what's this? You can stop trying to hide the book, you know.
Yuri takes the book from where Natsuki has dropped it on the bench behind her.
Let's see, a lonely broadcast by L. Byron. Becoming a big cosmic horror fan now.
It is not just cosmic horror, it's way more complicated than that. There's comedy and romance and all sorts of shit in it. Just because it has horror elements does not mean that I am suddenly you, okay?
Friends, loved ones, distant relations.
Lame. This is like your most overused joke.
We are gathered here to mourn the tragic passing of our beloved Natsuki. The chance that others would perceive her differently became too high. She ran head-on into a challenge to her personal identity, reading a different kind of book than usual, and it all just proved too much. May she rest in peace.
But she goes to her rest adored and cherished by the whole world. In our hearts, though it grieves us to lose a genius of her caliber, we know she's in a better place. Away from the cruel barbs and short jokes that plagued her whole life. And we know that she died in the same way she would have chosen. She died as she lived. Being gay as fuck.
Indeed. How are you, beloved? You haven't been waiting here long, have you?
Nah, just a couple minutes, plus I got here early.
I confess I have some trepidations as to how your plan will be received by the others.
Yeah, me too. Right! Natsuki scheme! Natsuki scheme. There's a Natsuki scheme cooking up if I... Oh, right. We needed the Natsuki scheme. I've been waiting for a Natsuki scheme. Tell me all about the scheme. Oh, I shall wait until it's time for action. Hopefully they... Oh, hey, look who's coming. Let's go out. Let's go out here. It's crowded between the actual lockers. Bitch, there's always a Natsuki scheme. It's just been so long since I was able to witness one of them, though.
Yes.
Hey, guys, over here. Yo. We still waiting on Monica? Nah. For reasons, this is a strictly no Monica project. Left being kissed. I mean, yes, that she did. You'll get why in a bit.
So it's the plan this time. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
Okay. It's actually, well, see, it's a little less silly this time. Kind of a more serious and important one. Mostly. And part of why you're here is to tell me if the plan's a bad idea. Like, my thinking might be really fucking stupid here, and I need you guys to check me if it is. But here's the deal. Later. The fact that we don't get to see the explanation means we get to see the scheme in action. That's how it works in most in most narratives. And that's about it. So what do you guys think? If it's bullshit and I'm putting my nose where it doesn't belong, tell me. I'm surprised to hear you say that. Kinda would have expected you to just commit to doing it no matter what we said. Now, those days are behind me, or at least they are when it comes to something like this. I do not disavow my right to go on other completely righteous crusades as I see fit. I'll keep that in mind. As far as I'm concerned, also, Natsuki using some words there. Disavow? Like, wow, Yuri really is rubbing off on her, isn't she? I mean, it's been pointed out before in the previous episodes this season as well. I just feel like, once again, I have to point it out when I see it. As far as I'm concerned, if this were about anything else, I'd say you should mind your own business. But in this particular case, yeah, it makes sense. No objections from me, and I think I can probably do my part.
Sayori? I mean, I know what you probably think, but when it comes to your part in all this...
Oh yeah, I'm totally on board. I don't mind my part at all. I actually think I'll do a real good job.
No doubt.
I have to ask though, what about Yuri?
Natsuki vocabulary does intentionally improve over the course of the season as she associates more with Yuri. It is adorable. It is adorable to see her vocabulary change due to all the time they spent together.
Oh, she already consulted me and I approve, of course.
No, I mean like, what will Yuri's job be in all this?
Good point. All of us have jobs to do, but does Yuri have a role?
Yuri will obviously handle the atmosphere.
Ooh, wonderful. My love for atmosphere is well known.
It's just like the festival all over again.
Of course. Alright, I'm gonna go make sure phase 1 kicks off the way it should. You guys know what to do, but let's keep in touch on the text thread.
Will do. I've got a bail now though, class time.
And don't forget, you have baseball tryouts before you have literature club MC.
That's not for certain yet.
My man, gonna do baseball after all?
I really haven't decided yet. Although I guess I have to, since the tryouts are today.
Ooh, why would you not at least try out?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really play any in high school. I'm probably not good enough. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Come on, MC, you gotta at least try it. It's not like there's a super competitive baseball program or anything.
It's not like it's extreme baseball. Ah, man, I miss XP. I miss XP already. I'm happy I can still play it for like 2 more weeks. Actually, close to 3. Close to 3. But like a little bit over 2 weeks that I still have to play XP. Actually, is it 3 weeks? Actually, no, I think it is 3 weeks. Hang on. You know, it's shutting down on the 28th, so I do have over 3 weeks still. That's good. I should play a few more matches of XP before it all goes away. I shall miss Tribe 9, but that's not what we're here for today.
As long as it's a super competitive baseball program or anything. Plus, if you get on the team, I can see you in a baseball uniform.
Very compelling.
Really though, you should go. Do you want me to come cheer you on?
No, please don't. You'd break my focus. I think I will go though. You all talked me into it. But anyway, for now, class. Bye, ladies.
Bye, MC. So, what are you guys doing now? Do you want to hang out?
Again, the fact that the H word keeps getting used in this, it is not possible to escape. I almost wonder if it's intentional, just like how the Just Monica lines that keep getting snuck in are intentional.
Man, yeah, I want to hang out, but I've got stuff to do, unfortunately.
Yeah? Are you gonna do a date with Yuri?
Eventually, yes. But nah, right now I've got class.
As do I. What will you do, Sayori?
Probably nothing much until club time. My only class for the day was cancelled, everyone else has stuff to do, and MC would get too nervous if I went to his baseball tryouts. I'll probably just go back to my room and rest for a little while.
I take it you haven't signed up for any activities or clubs or anything yet. Besides the literature club, I mean.
No, it's just common parlance with the club. I've just decided it's easier to just use the word and ignore so that we pass the association. Fair enough. Fair enough. Still, it still sometimes jumps out at me when I see it. Partially because it is so ingrained in me that I cannot get around DDLC without half of my chat doing hanging jokes when the opportunity arises. Now that's obviously me over-exaggerating, but the hanging jokes have shown up on multiple occasions when I'm playing DDLC, so sometimes I catch it when the word pops up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
No, not yet. I probably will soon, once I feel more settled in. But for now, I want to be careful. I don't want to overload myself with stuff that takes a lot of effort. My therapist said that was a good, wise idea when I told him that's how I felt about it. So I'm trying to be real cautious about doing too much at first.
I agree, that does seem wise.
Yes, so we as in all of us here all want to see Sayori cheerleading. Wait, so where the fuck was the Tsuri in here? Oh, a while. But yeah, MC sadly doesn't want to see the... I mean, MC would absolutely be happy to have Sayori cheerleading. Especially if she wore... I feel like MC would be especially happy if he could just get to see Sayori in a cheerleading outfit. But again, as he said, it would obviously break his focus. For good reason.
Well, go and relax your mind. I look forward to seeing you at club later, Sayori.
And, you, Yuri. Did I say that right?
You did.
Man, I'm glad to be taking some time to just do nothing. I didn't realize how drained I was feeling. I'm doing a good job at taking care of myself, is what this means. Are you proud of me, Mom?
Sayori knocks on the door to her dorm room.
Who is it?
It's me.
Sayori, for heaven's sake, I've told you 100 times. This is your dorm room, too. If it's just you, you don't have to knock.
I know. It just feels weird not to.
Hi, Dylan. Hope you're well.
So I decided not to watch him. I don't want to ruin his tryouts by making him nervous.
Well, that makes sense. A girl must use her power responsibly and not completely break her man's fragile mind. Oh, that actually reminds me. Almost forgot to tell you. My boyfriend is visiting me today at some point, and when he gets here...
Somebody knocks on the door. And when he gets here, somebody knocks on the door. Oh, they'll be going at it. What mod is this? This is Doki Doki Club Meetings, Season 4, Episode 3, which is Season 4, Episode 3, which is overall Episode 39. So, yeah. I've been in this for the long haul. This is the most recent episode, by the way, though I think Episode 40 is not too far off at this point.
Is that you, baby?
Yeah. I'm just gonna do generic voice because, my god, he's not even a named character, so why would I? Tomorrow? Yep. Ah, I see. You invest in this? I sure am. Alright, in that case... You know what? In that case, I can be entirely certain. Next week's stream schedule will likely look just like this week's, where I will be doing another DDLC Tuesday. That seems like a good plan.
Just hang on a second. I'll be right with you. So, Sayori, I was going to say... As I've said before, I don't mind if you stay.
Right, yeah, exactly. Forgot, Ayami doesn't mind when people watch. Now, I'm sure Sayori has feelings about watching, so... She feels very differently about this. I'm sure Sayori will be heading out.
Especially if you need to rest, like you said. But you may want to leave if you get me.
I totally get you. I can definitely be somewhere else for a little while. You have fun, okay? Okay? Well, hi. I'm her roommate. Go get her, Slugger.
Thanks. She seems cool.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Now, shut the fuck up and kiss me. I'm gonna rock your world.
Oh boy. The cut to black might be necessary there. Well then, that was Ayami, everyone.
Well, wonder what I should do. Wonder what I should do now.
Sayori creeps closer to the door and puts her ear to it. You know, Sayori, at this point, you might as well just come back in. Well, low-key, I'm so much wants my computer if I had a computer. Sad. It's a good thing you can always watch these. But it is definitely a different experience when you play them yourself. It's similar, after all, it is a visual novel, so watching and playing yourself are fairly similar, but again, it's not quite the same, is it? Are you sure? You shouldn't rush into this just because...
Yes, I'm sure. Aren't you sure?
Oh, yeah?
Because if you weren't, that would be okay.
No, I'm good.
Alright. I probably shouldn't be listening to this.
I mean, you can listen to this. In fact, you can come back in. Ayami said it's okay. About FNF2, fair enough. Again, pointing out my multiple gigabyte, actually multiple 100 gigabyte large FNF mod folder.
I don't have to leave, right? She even invited me to stay. So she wouldn't mind if I listened, right? Still, it feels a little weird. Maybe I should just...
So he keeps listening. So, baby, do you, like...
Please, just shut up. Oh, it feels sad now. Maybe I should talk to her later? Or maybe not. How strange. I wish I could talk to MC right now. Or Monica. Or Natsuki in theory. But then I have to admit to being a sexy eavesdropper. Well, I guess it couldn't hurt to get a snack while I wait.
Sex, yes. Get a snack while you wait, that's genius. Grab some popcorn as you sit in front of the door and listen in on this. In fact, again, Ayami did say she didn't mind Sayori staying. Imagine Sayori comes back in with a bucket of popcorn and is like, so, continue. Sayori watches on the chair, exactly. She just had to get snacks first. I mean, there's no point in watching if you don't have the snacks to back it up.
And so then she said she really wanted him to do it, basically so she could see him in a baseball uniform.
I've never seen those characters before. Right, this is Natsuki's sister, in case you're curious.
And then he was like, but you can't come watch me. I'll become oh so nervous if you do, my sweet love.
Right. Remember voice. God, it's been so long. I think I did the, like, more Valley Girl. Again, remember the voice, but trying to get back into the voice is gonna be annoying.
Like, oh my god, not in those exact words probably. Although you'd love it if those were the exact words, you sicko. I am an appreciator of the finer things in life. Such as watching my dear friends enjoy their love lives. What about you? How are things going for you on the love front? Nothing too new, I guess. They're busy a lot of the time, but we knew that would happen. We still get plenty of time together though. More than enough, I shouldn't complain. Good, because if they weren't treating you right, pow! I am looking out for you, sis. Extremely comforting, you terrifying fucking gremlin. So, what happened next? Oh, we actually talked about a new plot of mine. I'm sure they were delighted to hear about another plot of yours. So, what is it? Don't keep me waiting. It's it's secret. Even from me, your most favoritist person who doesn't have purple hair in the whole wide world. Sister, my heart, she is broken.
Impossible, she's at actual words. I think I saw Ayami before, but with a different name. It's possible. Who knows? Some characters do get reused in different mods for different purposes. It's just boyfriend makes me think Ayami and boyfriend FNF. True. No, but yeah, he said actual words. He did say actual words, so It is impossible. Actually, no. In a recent trailer, BF was shown to be able to speak. He can speak. He can speak English, he just chooses not to most of the time. I think he's just in this most of as far as I know. Alright, fair enough. But yeah, again, certain characters do just end up getting reused. It makes sense. Because why wouldn't you? If the sprites exist, why wouldn't you use them in your mod as long as it's okay with the, like, as long as the owner of the sprite, like the original artist of the sprites isn't against it, obviously. But I feel like most sprite artists are okay with their sprites actually seeing some use, generally speaking.
It's not like I want to keep anything from you, you know? It's just about secret stuff. And other people's lives, too. Stuff they probably wouldn't want you to know about. And Natsuki, it's okay. I wasn't actually upset. You never have to tell me anything. If you told me you needed to cut off my little toe but couldn't tell me why, I'd hand you the saw. Okay, but what about the other toes? Then we'd have to negotiate, probably. You know, it's really good to spend time with you so much again. I really missed you. You nerd, it hasn't been that bad. We've still gotten to see each other plenty over the past 10 years or 11 years or whatever it's been. Yeah, but it wasn't the same as the old days. No, it wasn't. So it seems like it has been that bad, huh? Of course it has. It feels like our parents stole 10 years from us. I mean, I'm really glad that we still got to see each other sometimes. I guess I shouldn't blame them too much since we saw each other occasionally. No, you should. Sisters should not have to be grateful for the rare opportunities they have to see each other growing up. It's their fault we were like that. I just try to forgive them as much as I can, although it's hard. I still don't know why they had to hate each other so much. That's it, I'd understand it when I had kids of my own. Dumb. Huh, that's funny. What? Mom used to say the same thing when I would ask. Guess they're not as different as they think they are. Dad never actually seemed to think they were different from each other. He just, well, yeah. Anyway, enough talk about them. We're back together now, and no one can stop us from spending as much time as we want together. Although you have your club soon, right? Not for a little while still. Although, hang on. Actually, one of my other friends wants to see me in person right now. She wouldn't ask unless it was a big deal. See you tomorrow? Or maybe you wanna grab dinner later? Would love to grab dinner, babe. Text me when you're ready, okay? I'll drive. Bring your if you want. Hell yeah, I hate walking everywhere. Of course, I also don't even have a car yet anyway. But that's just a minor obstacle. Anyway, I'll text you in a few hours. Don't forget, I'll come and knock your door down. Yeah. Come on in.
Oh, it's a Yami. Interesting, so it's a Yami who wants to talk. Ooh, not what I was expecting, actually.
Thanks, Nat. Your room's a lot cleaner than I thought it would be.
Oh, shut up. Now what's bothering you so much that you had to talk about it right away?
Wait, why does Yuri have so many knives?
Ayami, focus up, girl.
Sorry, Yuri's not gonna be back anytime soon, is she?
Now she's got class, now come on, out with it.
Well, it's about my boyfriend.
Oh yeah? The last report on him was that things felt weird, right?
Right, but remember, you can't tell
I ain't gonna tell anyone, dude. It's been a long time. If I was gonna blab, I would have done it by now.
That's probably true. So, yeah, I still haven't been feeling like anything for him. And I think he doesn't really feel anything for me either. And on top of that, it's really awkward that we're at different colleges and don't feel much of anything.
So why not just break up?
I don't know, it just... Look, we're 19 already. I wanted to feel more grown up in high school. People have always been making fun of me for being more grown up than other girls. You know that.
Yeah, and you lean into it as your coping mechanism. Which is dumb, by the way. You don't have to be a damn thing that people expect. You can be your own thing.
I'm not as strong as you when it comes to that kind of thing, Natsuki. I care what people think about me. And what would they think if Ayami was 19 and wasn't even in any serious relationship yet? We're in college now. A lot of girls from our school are thinking about getting married soon.
Ayami, it's like 2 girls from our high school. And at least one of them is making a terrible decision. Because she's rushing into it under pressure. Which sounds kinda like what you feel like doing. Forget about me. What do you think Ikuko would say if she was here, girl? Damn.
She'd probably curse at me and tell me I was being a moron.
Exactly. Anyway, this was all old information. We have talked about this before, many times. What happened that you need to talk about?
So I invited him to visit, hoping we'd kindle a spark and make some progress.
Yeah, and? You kindle any sparks and make any progress?
Well, we had sex.
I know. Sayori knows too. Sayori heard.
Oh. But you don't exactly look happy about it. He didn't pressure you into it, did he?
No, not at all. I worry that maybe I pressured him into it. And Natsuki, I did it because I wanted us to feel special and like we had a spark and like it would be something really important that would bring us together. And it didn't. Emotionally, it just felt like nothing. Physically, it was amazing and I wanted to do it again, but why didn't I feel anything emotionally?
Guess he's just not the one for you. That simple.
This was supposed to fix things.
Oh man, Ayami, I mean, I'm not a love psychologist or anything, but I don't think that having sex fixes things. No wonder you feel weird. Are you, like, okay on a basic level?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. It didn't do what I hoped. Let me ask you something. When you did it for the first time, did it make the relationship feel special? Was it like a big milestone?
I'm not even sure if I should answer this because the answer's not going to at all be what you want or expect. But girl, no. It didn't make the relationship feel special. It was special already and had been for a long time. And it didn't feel like a big milestone because we already felt like we were past that road marker, I guess, if that makes sense. We didn't make a big deal of it or even try to make it happen. It just kind of happened by itself, I guess. But then, I don't know, maybe it's different when it's 2 girls. I've never gotten that far with a guy. For me and Yuri, it was...
I really don't need to hear about how it was for you and Yuri, Natsuki. I was just asking a single question.
Okay.
Look, sorry for snapping. I don't know what to do and I'm upset about it.
So once again, I don't get why you don't just break up with him. There's nothing there, and your magical fix didn't magically fix anything. Which brings us back to why date this guy?
Because I'd be alone again and a laughingstock.
Ah, being single makes you a laughingstock, I guess. Chat, feel free to laugh at me. Feel free to laugh at the guy who's never had any kind of committed relationship. Feel free to laugh at the guy who's never gone on a proper date. Feel free to laugh at the guy who's hopelessly single.
It's already bad enough that I just now had sex for the first time at 19.
Having sex for the first time at 19 is late? Dear God. I am behind the people who are behind on things. Oh no. That is a very ridiculous view of how important societal expectations are. My God, societal expectations. I can't believe it. How dare I be this behind? If even these characters that say they're behind are younger than me.
It seems so stupid, always trying to play up how sexy and flirtatious I am, but can't even hold down one boyfriend. And you want to know what the worst part is?
What?
I really liked having sex, even though I felt nothing emotionally. It's just like everyone's always said about me. I'm an awful slut.
Holy shit, girl, calm down. Again, societal expectations. First of all, there's nothing inherently bad about being sexually open. What's next? Are people gonna, you know... This is the whole thing about people degrading sex workers for having, like, such a low-life job and everything. Similar vein is what this feels like.
You are allowed to have sex without it being a mystical, magical love experience. That does not make you a slut. And besides, since when should you be afraid of what other people call you? The idea is not to give a shit, right?
I guess so.
Okay, so like you don't want to be single, I guess that makes sense. And you like having sex with him at least? But like, aren't you in an open relationship with him anyway?
Yeah, why?
Well then, damn Ayami, it's really easy. You keep banging him as often as you like.
It is that easy.
As long as you're open with him about things and he knows the way you feel and you know the way he feels, that's fine. And then you can keep looking for your super special, magical, instantly loving and wonderful relationship on the side. Doesn't seem complicated to me at all.
I guess that actually kinda makes sense. I still feel kinda wrong about it. Like, I should judge myself before others do.
And that is the kind of self-shaming attitude you gotta get rid of. But feeling better now?
Yeah, I think so. A bit. I have a path forward now, at least. It feels like.
Good, because I have club to get to. But seriously, if you need to talk about this stuff, you let me know anytime, okay? You don't deserve to have this stuff eat at you. And I sure as heck won't judge you.
Thanks, Natsuki. Head on off to your club, don't wait up for me.
Yep, have a good afternoon.
And so Ayami stays behind, alone, in a room that is not hers.
I wish I could get rid of the feeling that I should judge you, Natsuki. Huh.
Damn, okay. Interesting. Well, ain't that something? Feeling that you should judge Natsuki? Huh. We live in a society.
So now she feels really weirded out about it, even so.
Oh, you see, her experience seems to have been very different from ours.
Natsuki be like, don't worry, I won't tell anybody. Not a single soul shall know. Moments later. So anyway, that's everything she told me. I know. She's just talking to it. She's just talking to Yuri about it, and they're in a relationship, so it's different. I know it's different when you're talking to your romantic partner, but still. But still. Whoops. Ah, boy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I sometimes wonder if such experiences work the same for allosexuals as compared to me. But it seems like it's a thing down to individuals.
I think it's, like, more about the fact that she doesn't love her boyfriend.
Perhaps, but even with that eventuality in mind, your solution seems a good one.
I hope so. She really puts a lot of pressure on herself.
Most people seem to, ourselves included.
True.
Hi, Monica. Wow, first Monica appearance. Only took 50 minutes. Then again, I don't know. I'm not exactly speed reading this after all. But why would I? You don't speed through peak.
Ladies,
Hey, Monica. Haven't seen you around much today. How you been?
Yeah, we truly haven't seen much of her.
fine. You're acting kind of weird.
It's her usual device of always acting like she has something to hide.
Oh, that. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
That is not a thing I do.
I'm afraid it is.
Whatever. What are we doing today?
Well, first, we were waiting for Sayori and MC. And there's one of the two.
Not in uniform. Ah, right, I guess it makes sense, because... Again, Sayori did say she only had one class today and that was cancelled, right? So I guess it wouldn't make sense for her to get dressed up in her uniform. But she did kind of get dressed up in her uniform in the morning. But I guess she didn't know that class would be cancelled at that point, right? So I guess she got dressed up in her uniform, then later found out class was cancelled, and then she changed back into her casual outfit for the rest of the day because there were no more classes. I guess that's how I'm supposed to read that. But yeah.
Whoa, no uniform?
It's not required, is it? I mean, this is college. They only require the class and formal stuff, right? Right. We don't have to wear uniforms to club anymore. I do feel slightly underdressed compared to everyone.
Nah, I think you're fine. It's just that, I mean, at this point, being in uniform for club is just, like, baked into me on a spiritual level. I couldn't even think of the possibility of not wearing uniform to club after so long doing it.
And I just prefer wearing my uniform to club. It makes me feel more literary somehow. No judgment on you, of course, Sayori.
And I just prefer wearing the uniform in general because it's more formal and impresses people more.
And I don't prefer it at all, but I had to run straight here from baseball, and it was either wear a dirty baseball uniform or wear this. I'm sure Sayori would have absolutely loved MC to come here in the dirty baseball uniform. Gee, how did I know?
You totally should have worn the dirty baseball uniform. That would obviously have been better.
Man, you are still so obviously down bad for him.
What do you mean still? Why would I ever stop?
I believe Natsuki's suggesting that perhaps your ardor would cool after so much time having passed.
Yeah, not that I'm an expert or anything, but usually things supposedly cool off a little after a while. No way! My being really badly down for MC will just keep growing! Exponentially!
I should use exponentially now. Because yeah, you can say exponentially like a normal person. Or you can add the explosive punch to it.
It's exponentially, Sayori. Like exponents in math, remember?
That suddenly makes more sense!
No, I feel like exponentially also makes perfect sense. Again, going up explosively. I can see it. Sayori just coined a new term for me. I shall take it.
I kinda like exponentially though. It makes sense.
It really does. The way things suddenly exponentiate is rather explosive. Your wordings are often very compelling, Sayori.
And on that literary note, we should probably just start club.
Can we do poems first today?
Sure, for the usual reasons when I get them done with.
Yeah?
Sure, easily done. So the theme this week was to write an ode to something people normally find bad or ugly or negative in some way.
Right. I do wonder, when I write the poem for the stream VOD, I already wrote the previous two ones. I do wonder if I should get, because I didn't really stick to the theme in the previous one, but Should I try to just stick to the themes for the Vought poems if I can? Going forward? Maybe. An ode to something people normally find bad or ugly or negative in some way. I'll try. I hope I remember by the time I write the Vought poem, but I'll try to stick to the poem theme, perhaps. Could be interesting, could be interesting.
Natsuki, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure thing. Mine was kinda hard to write, actually. I don't usually get very emotional over my poems, but this one weirdly affected me a lot. And, well, you can see for yourself.
Alright. The crab. I used to hate you. I thought you were a murderer. I thought you loved to kill. And make me sad. And hurt the people I love. But I guess you don't really know what you're doing. You're just trying to make your way in the world. You want to live, just like everyone else. You didn't ask to be made this way. And you're just a part of us. It's not your fault you can't live without killing. It's not your fault people die. It's not your fault you make me sad. It's not your fault you hurt the people I love. That's just the way you are. You just got damaged. And now you're the way you are, like me. A weird part of me wishes we could live together, without hurting each other. But we can't be friends, crab. Okay, weird thing about the crab, I guess. But I do believe this whole thing of I used to hate you to I wish we could be together and the whole thing were similar. Again, probably a little bit about describing the relationship she had with Yuri for the longest time, because she did used to hate. They had this rivalry going on. I mean, I feel like it would be a bit exaggerated here with the I thought you were a murderer and stuff. That would be a bit of an exaggeration. But the whole thing, used to hate you. It's not your fault. Just like me. And then together. The true subject is that it's a crab. Yes, crab. I mean, ocean life. We know a certain someone who appreciates life in the ocean. Just saying, drawing another parallel. And the poem is truly about is named after a crab. Alright, it's named after a crab. The thing it's truly about, huh? But yeah, they're gonna discuss it in 2 seconds. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I am always an idiot. A Cancer poem. That makes more sense. I suddenly see it a lot better. But I do also think that the whole thing from going to love to understanding to I wish we could live together also kind of slightly mirrors Natsuki's relationship with Yuri. Just saying. But yeah, the whole murdering thing definitely would have been an extreme exaggeration for Yuri. So I can see the Cancer thing. Remember anyone familiar with Cells at Work? Anyone familiar with Cells at Work? I watched the show and read the manga. I just want to say, remember how that series made Cancer a sympathetic villain? I remember. The cancer cell didn't ask to be born this way, but the moment he was born, the immune system immediately went out to hunt him. A tragic story. I have not seen that. I think it's pretty fun. Well, that's totally the same energy. It does, yeah. I mean, it was a fun watch for me. It's also, I mean, as accurate as a show with anime-ified, gajinkified, I believe is the term if I remember right, gajinkified cells can be. it is as accurate as it can be, considering all the jinkification. But, yeah. Maybe I should reread it at some point. Again, it's one of the few manga series I have.
Cancer poem. I did not suspect that you of all people would sympathize with cancer cells.
Yeah, me either. But I had a lot of time to think about them sitting with my sister, and I thought, how would I feel if I were a cancer cell? Some people probably find me pretty cancerous as it is.
Damn, okay.
But it's not their fault, you know? They do what they're programmed to do. It's not their fault they got damaged by some random radiation or whatever. And now they do what they do. From their perspective, they're just trying to live, you know? Trying to follow the instructions they have. They're not actively meaning to hurt anyone or anything. It's just the way they are. I think that's really sad.
It really is sad. When for you get cancer, all I could think about was how mean cancer is. But I guess it's not really mean. It just kind of is, I guess. I can empathize with that.
Yeah, me too, I think. I'm kind of interested in how Natsuki doesn't just sympathize, she emphasizes. Like, she sees herself and cancer as not all that different. Which on the one hand, kind of troubling. But on the other hand, I don't think it means that Natsuki believes she's bad. Although maybe there's a little of that. I think it's more about how Natsuki just sees herself in anything that's struggling to stay alive and make it. Like, the cancer cells are little tough guys trying to scrape and scrabble along.
Yeah, something like that.
This poem kinda lacks the usual Natsuki twist. I really like the formatting though. It's not a very strict meter, but it flows off the tongue really well.
I think in a way the entire poem is the twist, so to speak. It just happens gradually rather than suddenly. All the more insidious to do it that way, really. It fits the theme of cancer, the creeping awareness, but I don't want to muse too much about it. I enjoyed the poem.
Thanks, everyone. MC, I'm curious what you wrote about.
Well, I can go next then. A joyful addict. Oh, we're talking about addiction in this one, huh? They say everything in moderation, but does that apply to moderation? Aren't we here in this world to live a little? Aren't we here in this world to take things too far, at least sometimes? What if I want to drink too much? What if I want to develop a habit? Or dependency? Or spend 12 hours staring at a computer game? I'm addicted to breathing too, and sleeping, and I like those things. MC, the man of the people. So what if we stare at a computer screen all day, every day? So what? Truly, now this is a good one, and a relatable one.
He wishes to get smashed. A noble goal.
I mean, it's not just drinking that I'm talking about here.
Yeah, excess in general, I got it. But I approve of the message. Sometimes you gotta cut loose a little.
Even in a dangerous way. I mean, I'm obviously not a drinker, but even aside from that, danger lurks in excess. I've always had a hard time with the idea of excess, of not controlling everything. That's exactly why you need to cut loose sometimes, Monica.
The boyfriend thing earlier, I have the urge to just grab a screenshot from here and be ever do one of those bro thing here on the team. I mean, I can understand why. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just randomly BF. Hey, if Ayami's boyfriend ever gets a surprise, he better have blue hair, a cap, and have a white shirt. I'm just saying. Oh boy.
When you decide you're comfortable, I mean. I don't want to pressure you too much. I like the poem a lot though, MC. It's not too long. I was able to follow it really easily. Sometimes I feel like I start writing and then I'm just really too indulgent with myself. I just write and don't check myself at all. I should really be shorter sometimes, I feel like.
Your poetry is great as it is, Bun. The way you just write it straight from your brain is amazing, really.
Everyone keeps saying that. And you're all probably right, but still, I want to improve. And I think I'd like to start editing more. Maybe work on getting my poems a little shorter. But anyway, this is about MC's poem, not mine.
Part of the poem I liked the most was the comparison at the end to bereaving and sleeping. I found that part rather thought-provoking. We are addicted to things no matter what we do. That they are necessary to life does not make them an addiction. I suppose our responsibility is to choose wisely as to what else we make necessary to our lives. A very interesting subject, MC. Thank you for that poem.
You're very welcome. Who's going next? Everyone is silent, so the leader has to step up.
That's my cue to go. You all get one pass where the club president has to go, per poetry session.
Alright. Shooting the messenger. Alright. Again, it be in the title. You're just a messenger. Bring a worrisome report to the king or queen. A warning of damage and peril to the realm. And you're shuddering at the fate in store for you. The royals are known for resistance to bad news. But you tell yourself, how mad could they be? They gave me this job. I'm just here to protect them. They must know the damage and peril to the realm. But they're very angry. They scream and cry and kick their feet. Your message is intolerable. And then they call for your death. And before you are know it, they bring in your killer. But loyal to the end, you die, proclaiming your warning. Damage and peril to the realm. Before you are sweetly, slowly suffocated. Truly, a death without suffering, such is your fate, my loyal servant. Your dedication is noted, but pain is unappreciated. To be fair, we could just say that Monica made a little writing mistake in her poem. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. I'm sure I have a few mistakes. I'm sure some of my poems also have mistakes in them. I am more than sure of that. In fact, I'm already a bad enough writer as is. God, I'm dreading the fact that, again, not only do I have to write the WAD poem for both this and the next episode, but I also still have two things in the backlog, like for the redeem. I need to get around to those, but I saw the prompts for those, and no inspiration has struck me regarding to those prompts. Like, before we continue, okay, let me just quickly go to those prompts, right, that I have to write about. Okay, maybe I can come up with something for the prompt, the cute Wixie. Maybe. I'd have to get creative, but nothing really jumps out at me to write about. And the prompt of leaf in its correct place. Like, part of me is thinking of, I could do something like, you know, butterfly effect type of thing, where one single leaf that is out of place and everything, yeah, but I don't really have any strong, like, feelings about what I should write for those two prompts. Which is why those things have been sitting in the backlog for 2 months now. 2 months since those redeems came in, and I still haven't written the poems. Bad streamer over here, bad streamer. I will get to them. I always get to the poem redeems. I always get around to them, but sometimes it takes me forever. Because it's hard to write when you just don't feel like writing about a certain topic. She'll fix it for the collection, no doubt. Oh, I'm sure she will. Almost sounds like a Sayori poem.
It does have a device where a somewhat childish premise is inverted into darkness, I think. But other than that conceit, the poem actually screams Monica to me.
Yeah, reading it again, I see what you mean. The very direct dialogue style and the sudden ominous shift in narrator perspective.
I am fond of those.
Yeah, that slide into realizing that it's Monica herself talking to her pain really tracks. It kind of feels like it's filled with love and hate. Like you have a love-hate relationship with pain.
I guess that's kind of the point of the poem, yeah? Like, of course I hate pain. Who doesn't hate pain? but at the same time, if you think about it, it really is a loyal and helpful servant.
Didn't they actually talk about pain? Was it in the previous episode that they brought up the topic of pain and how it's actually useful? Like, it's a bad thing that everyone hates, but it's actually super useful. I'm pretty sure that came up in either the previous episode or the one before. Yeah. Perhaps that's why it was on the... yeah, that's probably why Monica wrote about it here. I guess it was in the forefront of her mind. It was relevant.
Yes, as we recently discussed.
Well, there it is. Well, there it is. Yuri brings it up just as I brought it up.
As we recently discussed, there are people born without the ability to feel pain, and as we discussed, we find from them that feeling no pain is a terrible disability.
Yeah, exactly. So as much as we hate it, and kill it with medication to some extent, it really is looking out for us. Strangely, I find pain more endurable when I think of it that way. As an over-enthusiastic royal messenger who just really wants me to be aware of the problem. Thanks, little guy, you're very enthusiastic, but message received. I really love that image! I thought you might. I usually really don't like physical pain very much, but it's...
The very much slowly added there. I guess she likes physical pain more than emotional pain, is what that implies. If I were to read into the line a little bit too deeply.
But it's neat to think of it as just a guy trying to yell at you that something weird is happening. Maybe a little too loud. But thinking of it as something nice really does sound like it would help. Plus, it really goes with the theme we did this week for poetry. It really recontextualizes something that I thought was really bad in a positive way I never thought about before. I think your poem is really cool, Monica. Thanks, Yuri. It means a lot. Do you want to go next, Yuri, or should I?
I will go.
Okay. Ode to Blood. Even picking up the ode for the poem title. A brief red splash, a thick wet sound, and you will shrink upon a wall and scream, and the eyes will widen. But if I could shrink down and dive in, I would find a whole world of creatures, native and foreign, defenders and invaders. A rich ecosystem, a red ocean of life. And you great beasts of burden, millions in a drop, racing to deliver your payloads. You are all that stands between me and death. Yup, all those little cells in your body working hard. Again, I am starting to feel the urge to either rewatch or reread Cells at Work now. Also, that reminds me, maybe I should pick up the manga for Cells at Work Code Black. But I'm not sure if there's, like with Cells at Work, I got the complete box set, and I'm not sure if one of those exists for Code Black yet. I'd have to look into it. Actually, you know what? Quick detour. Code Black. Is it finished? It was serialized from June 2018 to January 2021, so it is finished. Serialized until 2021. Okay, so Cells at Work Code Black is finished. Then out of curiosity, is there a box set? I know there's a quick detour and everything, but it doesn't look like it. No, I can... No, wait, maybe? Well, it doesn't come in a box set. Okay, no box set. A bit tragic. A bit tragic that Code Black doesn't have a box set, but maybe it's time for me to get the manga for Self-Work Code Black as well. Might be worthwhile.
That's a very you poem, babe.
Also, sorry for the detour and everything, but I hope you do not mind. In fact, I'm sure some people do mind, but some people appreciate small little detours and everything. Though I don't really have much to add whenever I go on tangents. My tangents are nowhere near as insightful as the patented Tormuse tangents. If you want the good ones, watch Tormuse's playthrough of this stuff. Of this mod and any other mods.
I acknowledge the fact.
To be honest, the first few lines made me expect some kind of rhythm. But then the poem goes on and there's not really that rhythm anymore. It was a little jarring.
I see what you mean. That was indeed not my intention. It's not often that I think about issues of meter. I must be more cautious about it.
Other than that, really pretty poem. The way you made blood, oceanic, it was really cool. And yeah, very Yuri. This poem too is Yuri.
This too is Yuri.
It certainly is.
That's not floating in the club. Rich with wonderful metaphors as usual, Yuri. My particular favorite was the image of red blood cells as beasts of burden. It made me think of them as like vast, squat red cattle roaming over the landscape.
That or something like it is certainly what I was hoping to conjure.
I really like how Yuri brings stuff back to being oceanic. She always makes the ocean sound so bright and cheerful and full of life.
It certainly can be. My intention here was actually not as much to make it oceanic, although the word ocean does appear. In my own mind I saw hills and the red blood cells trudging along great vast paths like elephants. And they went through a complex forest filled with all sorts of interesting microorganisms. Obviously, all that was not quite reflected in the poem.
No, but it kinda gave us a glimpse, a little. One of the things I like best about your poem is how it lets me get inside your head a little. It feels like you're always thinking about these huge, vast worlds. Like your hills filled with giant red blood cell cows. It's cool to get to see a little bit of those worlds through the lens of your poetry.
Thank you, MC. I am pleased that you feel that way.
Alright, my turn to finish up. The Vice President of the Literature Club commands it!
Whoa, 2 weeks in a row. Feels like you never do it that often.
I usually don't, but it's been a while and I need to make sure I didn't fall out of practice. But anyway, here's my poem.
The Equalizer. Alright, let's see what this is about. When you can't see anything, then nothing can see you. And when everything around is blackness, you're just part of it. In the dark. Garbage doesn't look any different from gold. Poison doesn't look any different from water. And I don't look any different from anyone else. And anything I say is beautiful. Is. Alright. I see. Is beautiful is. Again. Interesting wording. Not a mistake, I'm 99% sure that's not a mistake, that's just the wording. It is. It is beautiful. It is. But I almost stumbled over that and was like, is that a mistake? And I was like, no, it's very intentional. It is. That one is as intended, yeah. As I said, it took me a second time to be like, yeah, no, obviously. Something is beautiful and something is. As in, it is. And that's good. But man, sometimes I just... sometimes I just like to see problems where there aren't.
I understand the idea completely. Nothing can look bad in the darkness. an attractive idea if you're afraid of looking bad.
It's kind of sad though, isn't it? If nothing can be ugly in the darkness, nothing can be beautiful either. Is that really something worth celebrating?
It is if you feel ugly. Or, like, maybe you wrote a bad poem.
Oh, Sayori. MC tilts Sayori's chin up to make her look at him. Oh, I can see the blush and I understand the blushes. It's sad because you're incredibly beautiful. Here comes the flirting in the club. I thought we just said enough of that. As is your poetry. Why would I ever want to hide this face in the darkness? MC kisses Sayori softly. I will keep replacing those words when I see them.
Supposedly, we hit our limit for literature club flirtation earlier, Monica.
Fair point. Okay, you two. Let's get back to the actual poetry.
Sayori is gone. She's no longer present.
I don't have much else to add myself, I think. Natsuki, Yuri?
I can't remember if we've talked about it before, but I feel like shorter poetry is underrated. All of us have a tendency to go on the long side, but this is a really good shorter poem. The value of getting in, landing your points as heavily as you can, and then getting out. That's really something I overlook. This poem does a really good job of it. I probably would have overdone it and filled it out with another stanza or two talking about some further examples. But I think it's perfect as is. Fury?
I have little to add. I think it is interesting that this week that we all broke away from tight meters a little bit. Usually Sayori tends to keep to one. MC increasingly does so as well, as does Monica. But this week it was all more or less prose poetry. It's an interesting trend.
Next thing you know, you'll be graphing poetry trends, you big nerd.
The idea's a tempting one.
Well, shall we move club along? Free time, names from a pencil case, emails. Oh, names from a pencil case! Names from a pencil case!
You really like the names from a pencil case thing, huh, Bon?
Totally! Everyone comes up with such neat ideas. Plus, it's really neat to have new stuff we've never done before. It adds a lot of spice to the club. Well, if the vice president of the literature club commands it, who am I to disagree?
Aren't you the president of the literature club?
And as the president, I'm going to defer to my trusted colleague and friend. Names from a pencil case it is. So Yuri, if you would. On it! Let me just grab the pencil let me just grab the paste real quick. I can't talk anymore. Let me just grab the case real quick. I have it ready. Found it. Go ahead, Sayori. Do the honors. Today's winner is Yuri. Well, Yuri, what will it be? Have an activity in mind?
I do indeed. I have been ruminating for some time on what I would choose if my name was drawn. And I think my idea is solid. Who is familiar with the idea of two-sentence horror?
Oh, don't we know about that? In fact, there's even two-word horror. Like, carpeted kitchen. True horror stories, they exist. They can be very short.
I am. Although, mostly I only see examples of bad two-sentence horror.
Indeed, but today I will challenge us all to create good two-sentence horror. Simply put, you must write effective horror while remaining within the limit of 2 sentences. Run-on sentences are discouraged, but not strictly forbidden. The idea is to create effective horror in a minute space.
Well, let's get right to it. Let's take about 20 minutes and try to come up with some really good horror.
Later. Carpet in my bathroom, but only in the tub. Dear God, the most effective two-sentence horror ever. The tub carpet. Oh my God. Yeah, no. Remind me to never incur your wrath. The horror you can create. I'm gonna get nightmares. If you want to give people nightmares, you can do so very quickly and efficiently. The true horror. I should never risk getting on your bad side, or you'll give me even worse nightmares if that's even possible. Then again, I already had... there was already that whole thing of the teeth and hair thingy. That was also bad. For an entirely different reason, obviously, but still.
Okay, everyone, let's see what we all came up with. Who wants to go first?
I'll start.
Alright, MC, the stage is yours.
Actually, Monica, if I may make a suggestion first,
Sure, what is it?
I believe it would be appropriate to change the mood somewhat via music for the game, if I may suggest an appropriate horror-themed track.
I think I know the exact one you mean. The clock one?
That's the one.
Perfect, I think I have another idea actually to make the horror spookier now that I think of it.
Textile?
Excellent. That should be sufficiently spooky.
Oh, my 2-sentence horror. Let's see what the club, entirely distinct from me and every way, wrote for theirs. Yes, indeed.
Alright, now the stage is yours, MC.
Ah, that was the text. I kissed Sayori goodbye as she walked out and closed the door. Then she tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Where's my goodbye kiss?" Natsuki snaps her fingers enthusiastically.
Why are you snapping?
I don't know, it felt like a way to show appreciation that isn't clapping. Clapping feels like too much for this.
Sayori also snaps her fingers.
I'll just say that I appreciated that, MC. It is a classic formula made none the worse for your adaptation of it. Appropriately unsettling.
I agree. Who's next? Me! I remembered the lights to my room turning on just before I burst into flames and screamed. Then I woke up and smelled smoke, just as someone turned on the lights.
Natsuki again snaps her fingers.
I hate it when that happens. I've had dreams like that where some spooky shit happens, and I wake up and the spooky shit seems like it's gonna happen again.
We've all been through that, basically. Happening in real life to us.
You sure have.
Did you actually have this dream, Sayori?
Yeah, it actually was a few months after I started therapy. I told my therapist my depression felt like being on fire all the time, and he asked me to describe it. And since then, I sometimes have dreams where I'm on fire in my dream. I really gave myself a bad image with that one.
You're safe, Bun.
I know. Natsuki, how about you? I want to know what horror you came up with.
Oh god. Now this. Not Spoopy stepping up. Not Spoopy is here. And I'm scared.
Yes, I'm sure everyone's dying to hear my brilliance. Ahem. As a child, I ran into my dad's room at night, saying there was a monster in the walls. He was holding an axe in shaky hands, saying, "I know."
I see, the classic monster story, but it's real. Also, interesting how Natsuki specifically brings up her dad in her 2-sentence horror. MC brings up Sayori. Like, you can see the connections, how some people have a tendency to... maybe with Natsuki it might be a bit of a subconscious thing that she brought her dad up, but still, these are certainly important characters in their lives that they specifically introduced into their 2-sentence horror. You and Monica snap enthusiastically.
That's scary.
Well, yeah, that was the point.
I can't imagine my dad being scared of a monster. Being scared of normal stuff sometimes. But if he were scared of a monster, it would have to be really scary.
That's true, he's a pretty tough guy. Solid horror, Natsuki.
There is something disturbing in running to quell a childhood fear and finding the responsible adult cowering.
Yeah, it awakens that childlike terror part of your brain. Good stuff. Okay, let me take a crack at this. A star winked out. The last one.
More snaps from the entire club.
Groovy, groovy. Hopeless and groovy. Not sure it's horror? It just feels more sad.
I certainly think it's horror. Unlike everyone else so far, instead of flipping from ordinary to horror, Monica starts with something already disturbing that makes it much worse. I think that's well done.
Plus, it's horrifying enough to her, probably.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Miss I hate death and everything. Basically describing the death of the universe itself, the end of all things, by having the last star go out.
Alright, well, that just leaves Yuri.
You better bring it. No pressure or anything.
Of course not. Now then. I opened my journal and found a sentence in my handwriting on a blank page at the end. I read, "Be careful, she still thinks she's the one writing."
The entire club snaps enthusiastically. Damn, okay.
That was a good one. Yeah, leave it to Yuri to make it spooky, but also, like, you have to think about it.
Fantastic work.
That's my fucking girl. Hell yeah.
I'm glad you all appreciate it so much.
Of course. That was a wonderful idea for an activity, Yuri. Just a moment.
Everything is happy again.
But anyway, yes, the activity was nice and light, not too much pressure, despite Natsuki's attempts to make you feel pressured.
I will take those attempts for the needed displays of affection. I'm sure they were.
Bitch.
Hey, flirting, literature club. Hey, flirting, literature club. I've said it like 3 times now.
That was clearly derogatory, not flirting at all.
Soon to be followed by a derogatory play fight and derogatory tickling. Damn, okay.
Right. It'll all be highly derogatory.
Gabe! Thank you for the raid! How was the rest of your stream? How was the rest of the judgment that has been lost? Hope you had fun. And welcome to Doki Doki. We just got through poems and club activities, so I think it's soon gonna be time for emails. Which is the time I have to add Spinne. Because Spinne wants to be there for emails.
Seems like a good point for us to finish up with some emails.
Speak of the devil, there we go. Spinne, do I still have to add you, or...
Seems like a good point for us to finish up with some emails. Remember that you out there in the real world can send us emails to answer live here in club.
And what's that email address, Monica?
It's lit.club.press.monica@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Now, without further ado, let's see the first email for the day.
Good for the guy who pulled a lamppost out of the ground. Damn, okay. I guess I should add Spinne. Even though Spinne did just join in with the raid, I did promise I would. So here we go, just for the sake of doing it as I promised. So nobody can tell me I didn't.
Now, without further ado, let's see the first email for today.
Hey club! I've been following this for a long time, but it's my first time emailing you. It really has been an awesome time, definitely my favorite DDLC mod ever. My question is a simple one. Anime fans in the group, do you like Jujutsu Kaisen? It's my favorite anime right now. You'll get this when you're in college, season 4 for us, I'm so excited. So I just hope you're all doing well. Take care, Arrow. Ah, Jujutsu Kaisen. Another show that I watched somewhat recently. I say somewhat recently, actually, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it? I watched Jujutsu Kaisen because a friend of mine wanted me to join his cosplay group, and he was like, we're doing a Jujutsu Kaisen cosplay group. here's the show, watch it in its entirety right now. So I did. And then I was pressured into joining the cosplay group when they went to Comic-Con. That was fun. I have never done cosplay before that point. And I had to watch a show specifically to be like, okay, we're doing this. I think I brought it up before, maybe. But, any guesses as to which character from the show I cosplayed? You're free to guess as we move on with this.
I've heard of this, but...
I'm clueless.
MC, you know this, right?
I do know JJK, and of course, my fellow severe otaku Natsuki does as well. And yeah, I do like it quite a bit. I think it's one of the cooler shonen anime to start up the last couple of years. It's really innovative in the lore for how its world works. Sometimes its plot feels like it's been really heavily influenced by other shonen anime, but hey, I don't think it does badly by any means. It was definitely one of my favorite watches from the late 2023 anime season. Thanks for the lurk, Gabe. Enjoy your nap. Sleep tight. Natsuki, what do you think?
Domain expansion.
Is that it?
Nah, it's a good anime. Not to be too much of a hipster, but I kind of prefer the manga. The anime's been weird about what it's adapting and not adapting, but I really dig the manga and think it's awesome. Nobara's my favorite, finally some fucking good female rep in a shonen manga. Sad that it seems like it's gonna end soon though. It had a good run, I guess.
So I'm not gonna watch it. Fair enough, fair enough. I guess it is not for everyone. It is one of the more brutal shonen, I guess.
Thanks for writing, Arrow. College is going pretty well so far.
Just out of curiosity, does anyone in the club play the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV? And what class would everyone play?
This next one comes to us from Lilith, who's written us before.
What's up, Lilith?
Final Fantasy XIV? The critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV that has a free trial up to level 60 and includes the first expansion, the Heavensward? Yeah, I played it for a little while, back when Stormblood was out. Damn. I guess technically I didn't really exist before that. I had fun. It's just hard to spend a ton of time on an MMO when you're in school and don't have a ton of people to play with, you know. I could try again now, I guess, and try to get some of the girls into it. But I have to be careful about what video game recommendations I make, you know. For every hour I make Natsuki or Sayori play something, I have to play something else back. And that has resulted in me playing a lot of Stardew Valley. Not that there's anything wrong with Stardew Valley, don't get me wrong. But I have played so much Stardew Valley. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day I'll get back into Final Fantasy XIV. We have a Tormuse one again. Would you look at that? Yuri, some time ago you mentioned that you were reluctant to play the game Subnautica because of the idea of being forced to kill aquatic wildlife made you sad. So I think you'll be pleased to know that the game is actually built around discouraging harming the animals, with the possible exception of the fish that you eat, though even that can also technically be avoided if you decide to subsist on seaweed instead. I encourage you to give it a try. It's a visually gorgeous game, and I think you'd appreciate the underwater exploration as well as the story and themes running through it. Tormuse.
Again, Tormuse. I have, since last the subject was discussed, played a fair bit of Subnautica at Natsuki's urging. You do have to be a fair bit of a fish burner, I found. It was difficult for me to figure out how to live otherwise. But you are quite correct that I enjoyed the game, once I got the hang of the controls.
Oh no. Video game controls. How could it be?
It's literally normal WASD plus mouse controls.
I don't know what that means.
The The freaking keyboard and the mouse, you did it!
Oh god. Getting non-gamers into video games will always be tough just because of this kind of thing. This kind of very simple thing.
Oh, well, I struggled with it at first, but I did come to learn the skill in time. As you know, the oceanic nature of the game is somewhat incidental. It has a rather interesting story about a precursor civilization and its attempts to use the natural world to solve its problems, which, as you predicted, I appreciated greatly. Natsuki seems to enjoy the game most by building bases and doing daring things with the various vehicles of the game, but I just enjoyed the story primarily. Although the vast ocean and its many drastically different regions was certainly very enjoyable. So I thank you all out there for the recommendation.
Actually, hang on, let me check it real quick. Now, again, I am not an expert in grammar. The vast ocean with its... No, it's right. For some reason, I initially read that as and its many drastically different regions, in which case if it was an and, it would be were certainly enjoyable, but I was with, so no, it's correct. Again, I'm trying. Never question Yuri again. I shouldn't dare, you're absolutely right.
Natsuki for making me play it.
I knew you would like it.
And another Tormuse one, back to back. Hello everyone, this is Tormuse. There's the intro. I just got caught up with the Season 3 collection of the simulation, and it's a little embarrassing how long it took me to get around to it now that I realize how many times you've praised my DDLC mods over the years. I'm truly honored and humbled by your kind words, thank you very much. I hope it's okay if I indulge in writing a maybe overly long email. First off, congrats on breaking out of the time loop and getting into college. This must be an exciting, if nerve-wracking time for you. I hope you're all proud of how far you've come. I hope you're ready for the challenges ahead, especially with moving into college dorms. In my experience, moving in with someone brings up a million issues you don't expect, even if you know the other person very well. That said, I'm curious. What was it that motivated you to break out of the time loop in the first place? From my perspective, you seemed reasonably comfortable and happy with the time loop in place, and none of you really knew what you would do in college anyway. Why did you consider it worth the risk of possibly wrecking the simulation for something you didn't seem to care about? Along the same lines, have you considered what other changes you might like to make to the simulation? I know you've said there are limits and difficulties to that, but I imagine there are some things that would be easy to change that could have a big impact, like, say, the amount of money in your bank account. I feel like something similar has already been brought up, maybe. I might be wrong. I figured it would be just one variable, and then you have no worries of financial difficulties or needing to find a part-time job or whatever. I think a big part about that one is just like, they still want to live a somewhat normal life and not, like, live life on cheat mode, I guess. They want to have as normal of a life as they can, given their circumstance in the simulation, is I think what's going on, which is why no cheat codes getting used. Along the same lines, have you considered what other changes? Yeah, that's the one I just read. Another note, possibly more sensitive, but I wanted to mention it. Since Monica was able to make changes to worsen Sayori's depression in the original game, couldn't you change those same variables in the other direction to make her depression better? I mean, I know she's generally doing better anyway, but I did wonder if it is something you have considered. And again, this is another thing of Sayori probably wants to get better on her own accord, through her own effort, and not use any kind of cheat codes, similar vein to the bank account thing. Yes, there is the shortcut, but again, trying to live as normal of a life as possible in the simulation and wanting to strive through your own effort to improve yourself.
Oh, I turned in a couple in relatively rapid succession, so I thought we'd answer them both here. Don't forget you can right-click to see the whole thing. Let's see. Fortunately, I live alone, so the moving in thing wasn't too bad. At least it wasn't bad because of roommates. But MC has his own room too. Natsuki and Yuri live together, but, you know, that seems like it's probably not too difficult for them.
Sometimes it is.
Yes, we are both used to having our own space. It has been an adaptation.
Put aside, they're probably fine. Sayori's living with someone she didn't know super well before, though. But she and Ayami seem like they're fast friends. They're both very easygoing in their own ways. But anyway, onto your actual question. Why break the time loop? I can only speak for myself, but even though we weren't feeling any actual distress, we were perfectly safe where we were. On an intellectual level, we knew it wasn't right, I guess. I believed, not felt, that we should try to move on if we could, safely. And we could. I know there were moments where it seemed a little iffy, but I assure you that it was safe. I don't know, does anyone else have anything to add?
I guess I'll add that for me it was a really big deal to be able to move on and continue to grow up. Maybe the simulation wasn't as strong on me because of my weird situation, I don't know. But I really thought it was important that we experience new things and not get stuck in a rut. I felt really sick of high school. But that wasn't because of the loop. I think I was just naturally or really kinda done with high school as is. So I had that additional impetus to talk about it when we would gather and talk about it.
There you have it, I guess. Maybe having MC here is what really gave us a push, who knows? Changing bank accounts is a little more complicated than it seems. A positive bank account is really a liability for the bank, you see. To you it's money in the bank, but to the bank it's something they have to pay, balanced out by the assets they actually have. I probably could find where bank account balances are and edit ours to be larger, and probably that wouldn't ruin anything, but someone at the bank would eventually notice. I mean, I'm basically creating indebtedness in other people, I'm not just creating money, and the bank would eventually find something wrong. To cover it up, I'd have to mess with the bank employees whose job it is, and yeah, you can see why I'm hesitant. It'd probably be less complicated to create physical money, I guess. But even then you have to wonder if we get in tax trouble. The world is complicated, and even when you have added authority over it. But anyway, the real reason I don't do things like this is because no one really wants it. Natsuki in particular was insistent that we not cheat, so to speak.
Yeah, I was. Look, it's screwed up in here, we've had some hard times, and it's a simulation and so on, but still, it's real enough to us, and whatever we do in here, I want it to be because of who we were and what we did, not because we hacked some code, you know? If we did stuff like that, I'd always have to question how much of what I accomplished was stuff I really earned, and how much of it was cheap and easy. I know a lot of people would say, fuck it, take the weapons you're given and use them. That's probably what Fuyuki would tell me if she knew about everything. But I don't know, I'm different. I want to see what I can do on my own without a bunch of dumb bullshit that people like you have to do without in your world. What that matters to me and how I feel about myself. I think most of the people in here feel the same way, although Monica and Yuri are more okay with some stuff.
I, for instance, am not adverse to editing the places I live to suit myself more, nor is Yuri. But I certainly haven't gone so far as to edit a bank account in my favor. Anyway, as to your bit about Sayori's depression, that's a much easier question to answer. Why don't I just make Sayori's depression better if I made it worse during the base game? It's because of entropy. Things are a lot easier to break than they are to fix.
Oh, I thought it was because Sayori was like she wants to get better on her own effort. Which would also be reasonable, you know.
Sayori's depression is not just a variable from 1 to 10 that I can set just like that. Sayori's mind is a complex place. Think of it as a big high-rise building. Now if I see a big crack in a support pillar and all it takes is a giant hammer to smash it and bring everything crumbling down, not hard. But making things better, well, that would require a lot of other tools, and you can't just shore up the building with a bunch of stuff that changes how the building works. It won't be the same building.
Gee, do I think Tormuse wrote this email? I don't know. I don't know, depending on the first line or anything. I will never know.
And it wouldn't be the same Sayori if I just changed things the most direct way I can think of. To change a mind or a building without fundamentally altering its structure or damaging it, that's really difficult.
Yeah, probably not. Couldn't be Tornews.
A lot easier if you don't care about damaging it like I did in Act 2. But I do care about damaging it, so I basically need to be much better at neuroscience and code than I am now to do something like that. And that's assuming Sayori even wants that kind of help. It's a very sweet idea! But like Natsuki says, it feels like it's one of those things that it's my job to figure out. Like, my therapist says that every challenge has the chance to be an opportunity, even a really bad one. Because pain and suffering and our struggles to get out from under them can give us a lot of strength. And I'm kind of beginning to get that maybe I wouldn't want to rob myself of the chance to say I got strong on my own. Rather than just have Monica.
Just have Monica. It's almost the typical just Monica. It just sneaks in there.
Rather than just have Monica snap her fingers, even if she could do that. Hopefully that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Anyway, I see you have a few more questions. Let's move on to those.
Alright, MC. During the Season 3 collection emails, you asked the question of your audience, why are we still here watching you? Speaking for myself, I stuck around the DLC community over the years because I wanted to make the DLC mods. I have made 7 of them and counting. It's fun and easy to do and maybe a little addictive, and it made me discover that I really enjoy writing fiction. Particularly when I'm working with established characters, so I don't have to do as much work to come up with the character traits. And there's a special kind of appeal in writing and reading stories about teenagers, because my own teenage years were kind of sad and painful. So I get vicarious enjoyment from stories about friendship of people of that age, particularly when they involve overcoming emotional difficulties. That's why all my mods have a lot of angst followed by happy endings. I'm 42 years old, so those years are pretty far behind me. But they still have a weird sort of wistful nostalgia for me, for how I would have liked them to go. Oh, for me? I see. Not really a question, but I super appreciate these thoughts. Would it be weird for me to say that I kind of envy you back? Everyone always tells me that I'll miss being young once I'm older, and they're probably right. But I guess I'm just kind of done with it. I don't know. Maybe that's because my teenage years have been really weird also. But I'm just ready to keep growing and going to a different stage of life. I think your reason for spending time with us is a good one. It sucks when a time that's supposed to be fun isn't. I wouldn't know. Glad you I would know. Why did I say wouldn't? I'm stupid, that's why. I would know. Glad you recapture a little bit of that with us at least. And by writing about us also. Yuri! During the Season 3 collection emails, you asked the audience if we were weirded out by your time as president. While it's true that you engaged in a number of questionable behaviors that seem to go against club agreements, including holding on to the presidency longer than usual, making changes to the simulation without the consent of the club, spying on people without their consent, leaving the party while drunk to meddle in the space room, etc. That didn't trouble me nearly as much as the fact that your clubmates had little or no reaction to it. It's especially weird that Miss Ida had nothing to say about you leaving the party. It created the uneasy impression that there must have been some agreement that happened behind the scenes that we, the audience, were not privy to. So the whole time I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, thinking there was going to eventually be some kind of reveal of what was really going on. If I take it at face value though, and assume that you are just trying to provide an interesting experience, as you put it, then I hope it won't cause any hurt feelings if I offer some criticism. I think it's important to consider that your goals what your goals were and how they align with people's reasons for watching in the first place. On a very general level, people engage with media because it makes them feel something, and I think it's safe to say that people watch your simulation because they emotionally engage with the various interactions between the characters. Unfortunately, the commentary you provided during your curated experience drowned out what people were saying to each other, intentionally or unintentionally. And so, we lost all that interaction. Don't get me wrong, I think you're a very interesting person, that's why I wrote Doki Doki Storm. And it was a fascinating insight into the kinds of things you think that you don't typically say out loud, but at the same time, you're not the one I'm here for. And I would have liked to hear what other people had to say. The curated experience was nice to see once, but I wouldn't want it to be a regular experience of the simulation. Sorry if any of this sounds harsh, but you did ask for it, so I wanted to give my honest impression.
There's no need to be tentative about your phrasing. You are quite correct. My efforts at curating your experience were ill thought out, and I was awful about the boundaries we had agreed to. I cannot speak to my clubmates, having no reaction to it though. That was not of my doing. I suppose for the most part they were unaware of my transgressions until I told them.
I had noticed that you were doing a few things that went a little beyond, but I didn't want to make a big deal about it until we had that conversation in the space room. It didn't seem like you were going too overboard, at least at first. But yeah, once I found out about the space room that day, when Natsuki was having such a hard time and you weren't there, it seemed like time to speak up.
And so it was. I do not know why Miss Ida was unconcerned in my whereabouts, though. That is certainly out of character for her.
I told Miss Ida you were fine.
Did?
Yeah, she was in a real whirlwind just before she drove Monica home. Asking a bunch of questions about how much alcohol I had put in her drink and how Monica was feeling and stuff, and she asked where you were at.
And I said you hadn't been drinking as much as the rest of us.
And I said that you seemed fine and had just stepped into another room. And then she continued on her rush and grabbed Monica to drive her home.
Why did you tell her that about me?
As far as I knew, it was true. You stepped away for just a sec. I kind of forgot that you were capable of just vanishing into space, and I didn't think too hard because I was drunk and also panicking because of what I did.
Fair enough. Anyway, to summarize, yes, it was a series of poor decisions on my part. The less important part was the content part, of course. Although that part was also troubling. In my head, I had this grand scheme
Grand scheme, that's normally Natsuki's thing.
for connecting the player more directly to our world through a gradual process. I never would have gotten some of it working, though. It was much more difficult than I was letting myself see at the time, but in any event, your feedback is appreciated. If it is all true, this is why I continue to step back from taking my turn as the president until I am confident I can manage the boundaries that one must respect. Thank you for your email. I appreciate its storm very much, of course. As I think I've said previously, continue your excellent work.
Okay, Natsuki! During the Season 3 collection emails, you asked us to describe Yuri in one word. A difficult task, since she's such a complex person, so I'm going to go with maybe cop-out answer of complex. Sorry, but I spent over 2 years trying to get inside her head to write Doki Doki Storm, since she's the one I most relate to, so I know there's a lot to her. All I can say is, I hope you take good care of her. Side note, don't play Doki Doki Storm, I think you'd be upset by what I put your girlfriend through. Play Yuri's new toy instead. It's not what it sounds like, but it could be what it sounds like. Okay, that's all from me today, sorry if this went on too long, and best of luck in your new adventures in college. Tormuse. Hey, if my second email ever shows up, I should say when my second email eventually shows up, that's gonna be another long one. I am not one for short emails either. I do think Tormuse's one here was longer.
For me? Yeah, complex is definitely a good word. It's weird and some things she's super simple. She likes tea, she likes reading, she's okay with a very simple routine every single day. But then you ask her about what she's reading and boom, complexity city.
I see. First episode, I believe? Then I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the next episode anyway. But I'm also dreading it. Because if my email is in tomorrow's episode, then I'm going to have to face the cringe that I wrote in that email. Because I'm pretty sure I went out of my way to be extra cringeworthy and gave every club member a silly title when addressing them. Which, oh my god, why did I do that? That is so horrible. I'm gonna crawl in a hole when I see that email. Why did I feel the need to be silly? Being silly is something future me will always regret. Don't be silly in an email. What you consider silly today, your future self will consider cringe beyond belief. But yeah, we shall see when the time comes.
She's complex even in her complexity.
That is an artful way of putting it.
I have already played Doki Doki Storm, and it is definitely true that she went through some things. But I'll give you a pass, you know why. I hadn't heard of Yuri's new toy, though. That kinda sounds ominous.
You should play it. You would love it. It's exactly your style.
What is that supposed to mean?
Play it and find out.
Man, DDLC mods freak me out.
You do not have to, but I think you would appreciate this one.
Well, we'll see.
Thank you once more for emailing us, Tormuse. I was looking forward to hearing from you. Let's see, we have time for a few more, I think.
Alright, what's next? Hello Dokies, I would love to hear all of your opinions on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie if you've seen it already. But I would love to hear what your favorite animatronic in person was. Ah, the FNAF movie. Definitely a movie for the fans, to get all the references and stuff. Is it the best movie from a storytelling standpoint and everything? It's not the best movie out there. It's certainly fun for FNAF fans, and I'll give it that. It's good fun, not exactly a peak movie. But yeah, speaking of the FNAF movie, did you hear that MatPat is apparently voicing Toy Bonnie in the sequel? Not only does MatPat get to show up in the FNAF movie, but he gets to voice one of the animatronics in the sequel. What the hell? But hey, that's just a theory.
Who has seen this? MC, Sayori?
Nah, we skipped it.
Natsuki?
Yeah, I saw it. By myself.
Just as you do not have to play a DLC mod, I do not have to see a cheap thriller film.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But I like the movie. To be honest, I kinda had low expectations for it going in, and it did way better than I expected. It managed to stuff a lot of the story into just one film when you think about it, and FNAF is not a simple story to try to condense, dude, let me tell ya. I really love that they had MatPat do a cameo in it.
And all reports say one of the animatronics reportedly bit the child in the head. Yes. Reportedly, possibly.
I think that was a really cool way to acknowledge how big a hand he had in popularizing the universe.
Not essentially. Was that the Bite of 87? I still, honestly, I remember, if I remember right, this might be wrong, but wasn't Markiplier supposed to have a cameo in the FNAF movie as well, but he couldn't because he was busy with his own projects during that time? I think so. I think Markiplier was initially supposed to be the security guard at the start of the movie who dies right away. I think that was initially supposed to be Mark and his cameo. But due to scheduling stuff and him being busy, he couldn't. I do wonder if he'll show up in the sequel. There is a possibility. I certainly would be interested in seeing the king of Five Nights at Freddy's, as he so eloquently called himself, to see him possibly actually show up in the sequel. Possibly. Again, if MatPat gets to voice an animatronic, why shouldn't Markiplier get his long overdue cameo? Okay. Especially with his famous, you know. Markiplier is one of the big people that made FNAF famous. I think it's Markiplier and MatPat that are like the top dogs in what made FNAF famous. Like, yeah, MatPat at the top, Markiplier like maybe second place of how, of the people that made FNAF famous. After that, I don't know, maybe Jacksepticeye? I think he was like maybe third place in giving FNAF popularity. I say that as if you can objectively rank it, which you can't. I'm just saying.
My favorite animatronic was Foxy because my favorite animatronic in FNAF is Foxy, or a Foxy like if Foxy is there. Or a Foxy like if Foxy is there. I think it's down to how much he sweats you. Like, I don't know about you, but when I played like the original Five Nights at Freddy's, the other animatronics are spooky, don't get me wrong, but Foxy's the one you're really afraid of, rushing out at any moment and everything. Honestly, trying to manage Foxy is what gets you killed by the other ones, because you get distracted. Or at least, that's how it was for me. So yeah, I was into how they did Foxy. Cool question, bot, thanks.
For all the girls, have you watched these movies before? Violent Night and Cocaine Bear, Anakin. Have not heard of the first one. I have heard of the second one. I have not watched either.
Question. Why does Anakin always write out his whole question in the subject line?
I have no idea, honestly. Has anyone seen these movies?
I saw Cocaine Bear. I didn't even ask Yuri to watch that one with me. I mean, the thing is, yeah, it was wild and zany. It ought to be. It basically was exactly what you'd expect. But weirdly, that made it less fun. Like, Sharknado, that really kept you on your toes. It was all you expected and more. You never knew what that movie was going to do next. But Cocaine Bear, I mean, you can completely figure out most of it just from the title. There is, in fact, a Cocaine Bear. Didn't see Violent Night, though. I presume just schlocky Christmas-themed violent action movie. But I hope you enjoyed my official Cocaine Bear take. Patent pending.
Hi, I have a question for you guys, but mainly for Natsuki. Who is Mr. Takara? You guys have talked about him for a few episodes. I was just wondering who Mr. Takara was.
Another one for me? I'm so popular. Was this also Anakin?
I mean, this is in the subject line. Oh, someone else wrote in the subject line. Wow, weird. Imagine this is just people who have never sent an email before and are just like, what is the email about? That's why I type everything I need to know. Subject of the email. Yes, this is everything that needs to be in the email. I'll just put it in there. Perfect. Don't care about what the other text box down there is supposed to be.
No, this was someone else.
People, when you write an email, that little line underneath where you put the recipient's email address, that is called the subject line. You write a really brief synopsis of what the email is about there. That way the person you're sending it to can see what it's about at a glance. This is common courtesy so they don't have to read your whole ass message in order to prioritize it. Now see that big giant field underneath that? That's where you write everything else you wanna say. Now then, Mr. Takara. He taught geography and geology at our old high school. He was uncomfortably hot.
Oh dear.
And I can hear all of you out there now, har, look at the bisexual disaster girl being a bisexual disaster once again. But seriously, the dude is hot. He fucking looks like he walked right out of some 19th century period shoujo manga or something. Except instead of being a frail, willowy bishonen, he's fucking ripped. Back me up on this, guys.
He's really hot. Extremely hot. He's so hot, it's like a parody. It's comical how hot he is.
Yeah, even I'd say he's hot. Wow, the entire club is in agreement. Takara sprites when? I mean, there are still some people at the old school, just saying.
He's nothing compared to you. Nothing.
Natsuki's temporarily broken again, so we'll move on to the last one for today.
I am not broken, shut the fuck up.
Alright. Kind of embarrassing, and you can filter this email out if you wanna, but was the equipment room the V card for MC and Sayori? If it was, did you guys feel weird about that? Feel free not to answer if it's too personal. Natalie. Would be too powerful. Fair enough. I guess they could not be contained properly. They can't be Takara can't be contained by a feeble visual novel. He would break the entire simulation if you tried to give him sprites.
This is pretty personal. MC Sayori, how do you feel about this one?
I'm comfortable with it if Sayori is.
I'm fine with it! Even in front of all of us? We could all step out if you want.
I'm still comfortable with you guys here. You guys all already know.
And I've already talked about it with everyone a lot. True. Well, go ahead then. Yeah, it was both of our first times. Neither of us had ever done anything even like that before. My only other boyfriend was Kenzo and I hadn't even kissed him. Well, not really. Like, I'd kiss him on the cheek sometimes, stuff like that. But not a real kiss, and nothing like what me and MC did that time. As for whether it felt weird, not really, not for me. I was pretty nervous about it and excited, obviously, but I just felt like it was the right time. I had kind of been indicating to MC that I was ready to try it for a while.
I was a little more worried about it than Sayori was. Not because I didn't want to, or because there's anything wrong with Sayori, of course. But I just felt like a big psychological step somehow. And it is a big step. It really a really responsible one. For a while, I felt really hypocritical. All this talk about wanting to grow up, and then I was hesitant to do the grown-up thing. I don't know, it just felt like I didn't want to rush things. I appreciate the kind of energy the relationship had. I guess I was a little worried that sex would somehow change the dynamic, which seems really silly in retrospect, but that was my thinking. Plus, afterwards, me and Sayori had a conversation where she was worried because she was expecting to feel something different or significant, but didn't. And I think there was a part of me, before it happened, that realized maybe she was so eager because she was hoping it would make her better. And I was afraid of disappointing her, maybe. But luckily, we talked about it after and we started to understand pretty well. Anyway, yeah, I felt a little weird about it in the lead-up, I guess. I didn't feel weird about it in the moment, though, or afterwards, or since. I'm glad it happened. It really brought us closer. I'm sure it did.
And I'm glad too. Plus, like, MC's really hot. Like, okay, that's probably a good place to stop with emails for today.
Oh, come on.
Let's close out the club. First things first, does anyone have a good idea for a poem prompt? I tried to come up with some over the past week, but just couldn't think of anything good.
Oh, about the sunrise. I always like it when we do nature poems.
Alright, that sounds like a good idea. Sunrise poem it is then, for next time. Anything else before we're done for the day? I know I missed my week for being the president a couple of weeks ago. But if you're up to it now, if you want to. That's very kind of you, Sayori. You haven't been president for that long, though. Plus, the last time you were president early. Yeah, that's true. I just thought I'd offer since I was feeling good about things right now. Totally cool if not. Well, I'm comfortable with it if anyone else is.
I'm cool with it. Past is the past.
I trust that Sayori will not harm herself or others.
And I have a promise from her to that effect. I'd say it's up to Monica if she feels like she could use another week-long break.
I could, actually. Alright then. I move that Sayori be elected as acting president and that I be elected acting vice president.
Seconded.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
You wanna grab some dinner bun?
Definitely! Oh wait, before we go, Monica, can we talk later, you and me? Sure, Sayori, just get in touch with me whenever. Great! Okay, let's go, handsome man!
Bye, guys.
What about you, Monica? Doing anything interesting tonight?
Nah, not really. I was just going to study for a while and then go to bed.
Man, that's no fun. Aren't you gonna do any activities like in high school?
I hear that the volleyball team was expecting Monica to try out, but she did not.
Don't read too much into it. I've spread myself pretty thin during my time in high school. I'm trying to take some time to myself, at least at the beginning of college here.
I mean, taking some time to yourself? Sure, but not doing any activities?
Yeah, imagine that. Also, hi Star. First time I ever watched your stream, it was this game. It is fun how we come back to stuff that's been around for a while. It is fun how we can come back to stuff like this, but wow. Oh my god, 4 years. Almost 5 full years. Almost 5 full years. Insanity. Absolute insanity. What mod was I playing during that time? Was it Blue Skies? Blue Skies was one of the first ones I played, I think. It might have been Blue Skies. Yeah, it was. Ha! Okay, still got it, still got it. And that was a fun one. Definitely a very, very good high quality mod. In a different way to this one, obviously. This is... You can't compare like an episodic... Ow. You can't compare like an episodic multi-season long project like this to what is essentially like what if the DLC was a normal visual novel. Two very, very different mods, but both very, very well made. And very, very fun. Honestly, we're already done with emails. Either the after email segment of this is going to be relatively long, or this is a comparatively short episode compared to the previous episodes in this season. Which I do not mind, most certainly. Not every episode needs to be the same length after all. Far from it. I'm just noticing that we're only a bit over 2 hours in and we're already done with emails. Insane. Maybe I was just going more quickly? But no, I do think this episode turned out to be a little bit shorter than the previous ones. Which again, makes sense. I don't think there was anything too major happening. Let's recount the events so far. This is our episode. This was really short. That's not what I meant. I just meant by comparison. How long was the previous one? Let me check. It is still great that we can get episodes like 3 hours worth of episode, like on a regular basis here. That is insane. But compare that to like the 4+ hours of the previous one, and yeah. Yeah, the previous one was 4+ hours. But again, I do go on tangents sometimes as well. Again, I don't have the patented Tormuse tangent length, but still, it's way too long per episode. See, that's what you think. That's what you think. On the other hand, content. So yeah. Anyway, if not volleyball, what about debate club or whatever they have here?
I think I'm done with debate club for the rest of my life. It's not my style. I used to think it was, but it wasn't.
What about fencing? I know you loved your fencing.
My college doesn't have a fencing team or club, Natsuki.
Well, how about you at least come eat dinner with me and Yuri and Fuyuki instead of doing so alone like a shut-in? How about that, huh?
Sure, that sounds nice. But you really do have to study after that, though. I wasn't making that up.
Of course. Anyway, Wordsmith, give me like some good exclamation for when you're gonna start going somewhere.
Perhaps let us away? Perhaps not. Wait, I have it. Excelsior!
Yeah, perfect. Excelsior!
Monica and Yuri giggle softly. Now back to Ayami, I see. Ayami is pacing around her side of the room. She sits down on her bed. Then she abruptly stands up again. And there's a knock on the door. then, and then, and then, and then, and then. And then she said, "Who is this?" And then the person replied,
Who is it?
"Oh, alright, the mirror arrives."
It's me.
Oh, come on in.
Sayori, you in there?
It's just me.
Also, is that our first look at her casual outfit? I think so. I see. I see, I see. That's Kagami casual. Smash. Of course you would smash the mirror. Of course, of course. Perfectly reasonable and understandable, Spinner. I can see it.
Hey, Ayami. Everything okay? You look a little troubled.
7 years bad luck. Yeah. Smash both. Also, this is... What do you mean? After everything she said so far, you'd assume that happened a long time ago. What?
I lost my virginity.
Oh, yeah, that's, you're not happy about it.
It's complicated. I feel complicated about it. But what did you come here for?
So someone beat me to it. Ah, yes. It's not as important right now.
You feel weird? You want to talk about it?
You're really sweet, girlie, but I'm okay. We can talk about it later. I don't want to burden you with it. I know we're all really trying to be friends, and I'm glad to have you as a friend. But I feel like I'd be imposing, like you'd be weirded out.
I know we decided to become friends kind of spur of the moment, but that doesn't change anything about us being friends. When I say I'm someone's friend, I mean it. So come on, no hiding it.
Alright, I will hide it. But is it okay if we talk about it later? I'm still kind of processing. And you look like you have something important to say yourself.
That's about Ryan.
What about him?
Got time to take a walk over to him? I can fill you in on the way.
Sure. I can go right now.
I'm home! Hi, Ayami!
Hi, Sayo.
And Kagami immediately upset.
Kagami, it's been so long, we haven't seen each other yet! Sayori, we're just on our way out.
Huh?
Talk later, Ryan time now. Still the same old Kagami, huh? Oh man, I need to change. MC's still waiting for me. Ow! I guess I'm still the same old Sayori too.
I wonder if this will ever feel comfortable. Maybe I should call Kenzo. Nah. No, he's done more than enough for me already. I need to be self-sufficient now. This is just temporary. This is just temporary. Someone's coming. It's so hard to look natural and not like you're loitering. At least I've gotten pretty good at it.
You lied to us. You're homeless and you didn't tell us.
How did you figure it out?
You don't exactly do a great job hiding it. But I saw you sleeping under there.
Sorry, I didn't really want to tell anyone, especially not you guys.
Why not us?
It's gonna sound weird, but like, I really like having you guys as my friends. It's been nice to have someone new to confide in now that I'm here, you know? I don't know, it feels weird confessing something like that to you. Like, I don't know, I'm already pretty ashamed of it. I just wanted you guys to think I was a normal college student. Plus, I know this is a little messed up. I just feel kind of weird admitting weakness like that to girls. Like, it would be really lame of me as a guy to do that. Like, I should just tough it out, you know?
Well, I guess that's pretty...
You fucking idiot, Ryan! That's so fucking stupid! You baka!
It's about you sleeping under a bench. Fuck. Do you think we're going to fucking emasculate you? Because, oh no, we're girls and a guy is showing weakness. Instead of being a manly, strong guy who sleeps under, again, a fucking bench with no complaints. That was not a rhetorical question. Is that what you actually think?
I mean, I don't really think it, I guess. It's more like a feeling, I guess. Like, intellectually, I know I shouldn't feel that way, but I can't help it. It's just some kind of inborn sense that made me really reluctant to talk about it. Sorry. You guys are my friends, and you did deserve to know. I apologize. But, there really isn't anything I can do about it, unfortunately.
Why not?
Well, it's a long story.
But why not stay with Kenzo? Or hell, one of us at least temporarily. Probably not a good idea long term, but at least you're trustworthy.
Just, no, I'm definitely not hiding out in a girl's room. And as for Kenzo, really, you guys don't know all the stuff he's already done for me. It'd be really bad to impose on him more. It's really for the best this way. This whole living situation is only temporary, and honestly, I don't mind. In terms of comfort of it, my daily routine is pretty tolerable, you know? I have access to a shower, I can eat, I study in the library. It's just the sleeping part that is tough. And it's a little harder to socialize. Causes some awkward moments, like this one. But I can get through it, I don't mind it too much. Just one more obstacle.
You're a pretty tough guy, Ryan.
He's pretty hard-headed. He's a pretty hard-headed, stubborn, dumbass guy is what he is. But I can't make you take care of yourself, dumbass. Just take care of yourself, yeah? You can't always do the tough guy thing. Even if people have helped you before, let people help you still. It's not like some magical day comes when none of us need help ever again, you know? People get closer when they help each other. It's a good thing. Much better than just sitting on your own fucking island trying not to bother anyone else all the time. Are you sure you're going to be alright?
I am very sure.
We're gonna make sure. If you do not find some place to stay before winter comes, we will haul your ass somewhere by force if we have to. You understand?
Perfectly. Now, if you ladies would be so kind, get out of my bedroom.
Damn! Right, they did just kind of barge in his bedroom. How dare they?
But it feels weird just leaving you to sleep here.
I'll be fine, Aya. Like I said, it's just temporary. Please don't worry yourself. And I insist, go have a nice rest of the evening. I'll be fine out here. Plus, I really need... I slipped into regular voice for a while there.
Plus, I really need some time to myself right now.
Alright. This doesn't feel right.
Kagame begins speaking notably loudly. Just leave it. Just leave it. We can't do anything right now. Boys and their stubbornness.
Didn't you go to an all-girls high school?
I still know about boy stubbornness, trust me. That was fun, Sunlight. Thanks.
It's nice to pay for you sometimes.
I'll bet. But, sure you don't want to come in and stay a while?
I want to, but I can't. I've got stuff to do.
Ah, yeah, I'd forgotten.
Yep.
Alright then, Bun. Good luck. Be sure not to stay up too late, alright?
I won't.
MC regards his bed. They'll probably be fine, right? It can't be every night, I think. MC starts to change for bed. Besides, I can just stay awake forever and ever because I'm a scaredy cat, right? Nightmare time! Maybe I'll just play one short Hades 2 run first. Okay, define short and one. Define short and one. Like, one short run of anything can easily escalate. It's so short. But only one! He looks at his bed again. Yeah, then you have to sleep, MC. You have to.
So then, out of the blue, she just says it would be better if fish could walk. It was like 6. Plus, I was right.
Also, is that a new outfit for... I'm pretty sure that's a new outfit for Fuyuki, isn't it? Pretty sure.
It would basically be objectively better if fish could walk.
Dubious. That would be likely to have profound ecological consequences.
You hush. Telling your girlfriend to hush, huh? Pretty misogynistic, babe.
Oh, so that's where you picked up babe from. I should have realized before now.
I do not just copy my sister.
No one said you did, except you. Hang on, Sayori's texting. I guess she wants to meet up with me? She did say she wanted to talk to me earlier during club, I suppose. Well, it's about time I go anyway. It's been lovely, but I should probably drive back.
Monica, put some cash down on the table.
That should probably cover my share. See you all soon, okay?
Wait, she got to bring her car here? I thought freshmen weren't allowed. How the heck did she scam her way into being allowed to have a car here?
I'm not surprised. It is Monica, after all. She's nothing if not resourceful and persistent.
Well, chin up. I got my card too, and I'm happy to give you a ride so you can be safe from the terrible fate of walking for 20 minutes.
Is a 20-minute walk that much of a hurdle? I am over here. I appreciate being able to walk to work. And I have a 30-minute walk. And I gladly walk. Because I do not like driving unless absolutely necessary. That's the kind of person I am. Imagine the horror of a 20-minute walk. I could never, oh no.
I'm parked a little ways away though. I'll go and grab the car. You lovebirds stick around here and I'll text Natsuki when I'm out front. Sounds good.
Thank you, Fuyuki. I appreciate the consideration.
Being sarcastic about the walk. No, 20 minutes. Horrible walk.
You're welcome, Yuri, but you really don't need to be so formal. You're banging my sister after all.
Damn. How formal is she? Very. The answer is very. I mean, we're assuming if it were Japanese, she would definitely be speaking in Keigo. Absolutely using Keigo when talking to Fuyuki. Which, to be fair, from a certain point of view, it makes sense because Fuyuki is older. So, addressing your senpai using Keigo makes perfect sense, logically speaking. But yes, she is banging her sister, so...
I didn't,
She's gone, babe. She can't hear you.
Yuri defaults to Keigo for everybody all the time. You know what? Yeah, no, I see that. I definitely see that.
Pretty sure she said that just to fluster you.
well, she succeeded.
Hey, by the way, thanks for earlier.
What did I do earlier?
Back when Monica thought I was acting weird during club, you covered for me.
Well, it was rather easy. You really do act suspiciously for no reason a good bit. So it was easy to convince Monica that's what you were doing. Speaking of which, everything going according to plan.
So far, but we'll see.
Indeed we shall.
Sis is out front.
Well then, let us alight.
You fucking nerd!
The nerd!
Okay, Ayami, you're gonna study. You're going to go to the old library where it's quiet instead of the new busy one. Going to stop thinking about whether you've ruined your life forever, or whether anyone will ever really love you. No thoughts of boys will be allowed at all. Only calculus and chemistry. I hate general education requirements. I passed the stuff in high school. Why do I have to take it again? It's so hard to focus right now. I really don't want to think about it. But I can't help it. What does this mean about me? Am I broken? Is he broken? Did I break him? No, No, that's silly. That's super silly. We're both super fine. It was just weird, that's all. It's supposed to be weird at first.
Oh boy. Well, relationships can be complicated, can't they?
There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. There's... Oh.
Kenzo! Our dude bro! Man, calculus is hard. Like, really hard?
Hey there. Need any help with calculus? I did pretty well in it in high school.
Oh, hey, Ayami. Don't think I've seen you since we graduated. I might need help later, but right now I think I'm doing okay. I'm making progress, just super slow. It's mostly just a lot of work. I've been at this for 2.5 hours and I feel like I've made like half the progress I wanna.
Well, no wonder you're struggling, hon. You need to take a break. Otherwise, you'll wear your poor self out. Why don't you come hang out with me in my room?
No thoughts of boys will be allowed. The second she sees Kenzo, hey, wanna come to my room? Wow, Ayami sure lasted very long. She lasted so long, it's amazing.
I have snacks, and we can find ways to keep your mind off of calculus.
Also, they share the same text box color, I just noticed. Do you have anything particular in mind?
I did, but oh, where are my manners? This is a library after all, and here I've been talking so loudly. Let me whisper it to you.
Oh. Kenzo a bit uncomfortable with this. She might be coming on a bit too strongly here. Ayami slides very close to Kenzo and whispers something directly in his ear. Maybe not that uncomfortable. He is smirking. But is that a nervous smile as in, I'm flattered but don't know what to say? Or is that a, oh boy, this is happening kind of smile?
So, what do you say, big boy? Your sort of thing, maybe?
Wow, I'd, really be lying if I said it wasn't. But, sorry, I'm gonna have to explain something really embarrassing and personal to me. A while ago, this girl asked me out, and I was kind of excited about it. She was gonna be my first girlfriend, but then it turns out she had some issues and just wanted to go out with me to push this other guy away.
That's terrible. I'm sorry. You know, I will...
Just give me a second to finish. I promise it won't take long. So anyway, she broke up with me pretty soon after that, and I was like, man. Sorry, hard not to think about what you just whispered. Oh, she knows it's hard not to think about that. I think he might be staring. Which is why he stopped there. I mean, she is showing quite a bit of cleavage, isn't she? But, yeah, I was kind of bummed out. I was like, man, the most Kenzo quote ever. To be fair, yes, he is very like, man. You know exactly what she whispered. We didn't get to hear it, by the way. The game just said she whispered something, and we all know what she said, even though it was never spelled out directly. Sex? Presumably. It would take his mind off of calculus, I think. But, yeah, I was kind of bummed out, and I realized that I did it by just jumping into what someone asked without really knowing them, or developing feelings in advance, you know? And it turns out that kind of relationship with someone is complicated, and you need to be like, I don't know, you need to know more stuff than I know, I think, like maturity-wise even. So I told myself, hey, Kenzo, in college there's probably gonna be a lot of the same thing going around. And that would be fine, except now I feel weird about it because of what happened, you know? So I think, for me not to feel weird, I should probably say no. Or at least not yet, maybe? Although I really want to say yes. Would take my mind off of probably anything, too. Fair. But damn, Kenzo, look how mature he's being here. It's nothing to do with you. You're, like, super hot. For real? For real? It's just, I'm in a weird place in my head with, like, kind of stuff right now. So, nothing wrong with you, it's just me. Sorry?
That's fine. Doesn't hurt to ask. A girl's gotta shoot her shot. But that's totally understandable. I get it. Take care of yourself first. I'll be around if you change your mind, handsome. Tuh.
Well, she seems nice. Yep, no. Walks up. Oh, so you're studying. Need help with calculus? Yeah, no, I don't really need help right now. Oh, that's fine. You know what? Want sex instead? Yeah, she seems nice. Very nice. The info we know and love right here. Alright. Offer help? No. Alright, offer sex? Also no. How tragic. Yeah. Anyway, calculus? Calculus. Don't think about what she said.
Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing. What is it? What's wrong with me? Why?
Oh no. Oh no, we're back to this guy. I'm just saying it's a likely story. You're in here like every other night during my shift. Always the same story. Saying, oh, this isn't for me, this is for my girlfriend. And first of all, I don't see a shred of evidence you have a girlfriend. You're like some kind of super aggro gremlin.
Are you implying super aggro gremlins can't have girlfriends?
Cashier, cashier, cashier. Oh boy. You know you're missing out by not playing Limbus yet? Yes, yes, I know. I'm missing out, I know. Burn me at the stake, I know.
I'd say that we're assertive enough to get girlfriends because of the super aggro part.
Yeah, but the gremlin part.
But look at my phone here. I have incontrovertible photographic evidence that I have a girlfriend.
You have just paid a girl to kiss you. Several dozen times.
You clearly don't know her very well. I don't think you could pay her any amount of money to kiss someone.
Completely understandable. Okay, so granted, you have a girlfriend. Probably some of the stuff you get is for her. You don't seem like the 3 different kinds of tea person, to be honest. But I'm highly suspicious that not everything you say is for her is actually for her. Otherwise, she gets a lot of chocolate. And chunky snack food. To go along with her tea. Completely unrelatable. Ah, did I misread that? I have a habit of misreading. To be fair, it looks similar. Yeah, completely unrelatable. Two very different meanings in the response. Very different meanings to this as a response to this line. Yeah, no, that completely changes everything. But yeah. Very critical difference in the character.
You can't prove anything.
Hey, fuck if I care. Just seems sus that you tell me it's for her. Anyway, you want your receipt?
Nah, I'm good.
Alright then. Tell your girlfriend I'm sorry I gave you my number a while back. Didn't know you were taken. And I have a thing for smarmy sassy people.
She'll probably be very understanding of that. Don't work too hard, mouthy cashier whose name I don't know. Not that you ever do work hard, of course.
You're right about that. Damn. That changes everything. Suddenly pulls you into the Robust Outcast trial. Oh, I'd be all here for the trials. Give me more trials.
Oh, by the way, thanks for airing it out in here before I got back.
Is that a new track?
I can still smell the the incense a little, but it's nice at this level. Gives the room a very fancy vibe.
I'm trying to be sensitive about your smell palette.
I appreciate it. So anyway, yeah. That cashier's kind of a kooky person.
They sound very interesting. Tell them I said I forgive them for giving you their number.
Yeah, I will.
Something troubling you, beloved?
Not just hoping.
Oh, right. It is out of your hands for now. You should get some sleep and not worry about it.
Yeah. Will?
Yes?
Will you sing me a lullaby?
Well, ain't that something?
Oh, I'd be pleased to, for you.
Natsuki pulls the covers to her chin. Now this is probably something I do not get. Here are names, right? And then get him a girl. Watch as the cashier is just gonna be one of us. Random insert of one of the people who played the mod. Just be like, surprise, you're the cashier now. Imagine you just slap my name and face on that dude for no reason. Japanese and my mod set canonically in Japan? Imagine that. I do not. Do I need to read it out? I do need to read it out because it's lines, but wow. I'm just butchering everything. I'm just reading it out somewhat. Anyway. Ah, right, their meetup. Let's see the important stuff.
I'm really grateful that you came to talk to me, Monica. Anytime, my friend, anytime. I'm not sure I was of much help, though. I don't really know what to do about it.
Almost as unbelievable. I go to a German theater to watch a film and they get upset that it's only in German. I didn't even go to the theater, okay? I looked up the showings online and was like, wow, Chainsaw Man in German, unacceptable. Yeah, I saw, oh wow, every showing is in German dub. And the one other showing that I can find in every cinema, like, every cinema I looked at had only showings in German dub and one singular showing at one day, only tomorrow, by the way. After that, only German dub going forward. And the showing tomorrow was with German subtitles. And I do not trust German subtitles anymore. First of all, I do not want German subtitles in general. I want English. The one time I watched something with German subtitles was also in a movie theater when the Konosuba movie came out. Because obviously in Germany I could only get German subtitles apparently, and I hated them. I don't know what kind of drugs the people were on who made the German translation, but it's a fantasy movie, Konosuba, with a fantasy species called the Crimson Demons. And the German subtitles referred to them as cyborgs. I was sitting in the movie theater face-palming hard. And that is precisely why I will no longer trust German translators ever. No way, no how. Stay away from me.
I don't really know what to do about it. You wish you wouldn't worry yourself so much about MC, though. I know you love him a lot, but you're doing all you can.
Is it even translated, or did they just slap subtitles on them and call it a day? Try and be like, explode. Ah, yes. No, but it was weird. Explodes on. Slap subtitles on them and call it a day. Even translate? What do you mean? Is it even translated, or did they just slap subtitles on them? Again, the Konosuba movie when I watched it had German subtitles. And again, I could find one Chainsaw Man movie viewing that also has German subtitles, but all the others are dub. German dub. Which, ugh. I mean, you can argue. Voice acted, I mean. Japanese, yes. But yeah, you can argue left and right about sub versus dub and everything. I can understand that. And hey, I'm willing to concede that maybe not all English dubs are bad. Like, look at me, I'm playing Danganronpa and stuff. I'm playing with the English stuff. It's just hard for me to watch the anime for Danganronpa in English because they have different voice actors between the anime and the game when it comes to their English voices, which feels so weird to me, which is why I can't hear these characters talk in English using an entirely different voice than I'm used to, so I have to switch to Japanese instead to compensate. Otherwise, I probably would have watched the Danganronpa anime maybe in dub as well. But when it comes to German dubs, you won't find me dead watching a German dub of an anime. No reason to watch that? Why? You call it unnecessary reading. I call it culture. To be fair though, Spinne, eventually, if I ever reach the point where my Japanese improves enough, then yes, subtitles will also be unnecessary reading for me. But since my Japanese is very mediocre at best currently, I still have to rely on subtitles most of the time. Although I am at the point where I can point out inconsistencies between what is actually said and what the subtitles say is being said. Well, again, Spinne, your personal preference is your personal preference. You can say it sucks in subbed. I will say the opposite. I will say that generally dub is just out of the question for me 90% of the time. But again, those are personal preferences. And I guess we'll never quite see eye to eye with this. We'll just have to agree to disagree and leave it at that.
I know you love him a lot, but you're doing all you can. He wants to be in this relationship, and he dearly loves you back. That's all I know to say. Yeah, I know. It's just tough to see him struggling. And it's worse to see him trying to hide that he's struggling. Well, I guess he was bound to do it to you instead of the other way around at some point, huh? Something to talk about with your therapist, maybe? Yeah! Everyone's got trouble dealing with the mental blocks they have. Even the strongest of us.
Sayori looks at her phone.
Oh man, look at the time. I should really head back to my dorm room. Otherwise my roommate might be grouchy. By which you mean you yourself need to go to sleep soon to be healthy, but you still have trouble centering your needs instead of those of others. You're probably right.
Personal garbage opinions in the dub. I will always prefer the dub. Ah, you mean like they did with Dragon Maid and stuff? Ah, yes. Horrible. Again, blame the localizers. I prefer faithful translations. As long as we get faithful translations of the original material, that's good. We want faithful translations. We don't need localizers putting their own stuff in there for the sake of changing things up. Subtitle life. Glad to know you're also one of the sub over dub people. Translate as calling senpai sus. That is consistent, yes. And I think the main reason why it was in the subtitles why they used the term sus is because the way she phrased it in Japanese was also a bit more slang-ish. So they obviously had to translate it with a similar kind of slang-ish term in English, so sus just worked there. So that is understandable for the localization there. That makes sense. Like, what else would you really use there? Like, there it makes perfect sense. But other times, localizers really just change stuff in order to change stuff. But yeah, Spinne, that is totally valid. Your opinion is totally valid. It's just not one I relate to personally. And I don't think I ever will. I mean, there are plenty of dub enjoyers. Just as much as there are sub enjoyers.
You're probably right. But yeah, I'm gonna go back. Thanks again for coming out to meet me. Or meet with me. And like I said, you can call me anytime. Why did you want to meet here anyway? It's a little out of the way. Just a random spot in the middle of campus.
Yeah, exactly. I figured it'd be about halfway between my dorm and where you'd park. Oh, I'm really gonna go now.
Yeah, I'll head back to my car. Sleep tight, Sayori.
Sayori watches Monica go for a moment and waits for her to be out of sight. Right. Right, Sayori has presidency now.
Well, Code, sorry I don't have time to chat right now. I really do need to go to bed. Good luck with the whole rest of the night.
Sayori leaves. Imagine we follow her.
Poor Sayori. Always something to stress about in her life. Well, time to look after myself. I'm going to go home, cook some shiozake, and go to bed. I'm gonna... Wait, what's that? Who's singing at this hour?
She's finally gonna meet him. She's finally gonna meet Ryan. I was wondering when this would happen. Again, Ryan can move in with Monica because Monica doesn't live in the dorm, so it's not breaking any of the dorm rules if he moves in with her, and she has the space because she modified the space as well. It just works perfectly. I've been saying this from the beginning. There is some stuff being set up here, and this might be where the setup pays off. After years of waiting,
Is that Ryan? It just has to be a coincidence, right?
After years of waiting,
I did not code this into existence without realizing it. That's not possible. Did I play along? Can I do anything but play along? Is this deterministic?
after years of waiting.
That song have any other lyrics?
Sure does. He picks up his guitar. After years of waiting, nothing came. I imagine reminds me yet from Monica's Season 3 mod. Aha! It's been forever since I played since I played the Season 3 mods and everything. But wow. Yeah, no, it makes sense why she'd be weirded out now. Story will take a long time. Fair enough. But Siegespinne, at least you kind of understand where I'm coming from sometimes with the whole I need to hear the original voices. You understand it with, you understand it with Limbus at least. So you can see my viewpoint, even if you don't relate to it 99% of the time. After years of waiting, nothing came. And you realize you're looking in the wrong place. You okay there? You look a little spooked. I know it's weird for a lady to meet a random guy out on the campus at night, but I promise I'm not a threat.
Believe me, I don't consider you a threat. And anyway, I wouldn't have come to listen to you if I thought you were. So basically, I think you're a reasonable man.
Hey, you know the song.
I do, it's my favorite band. I was just kidding you about the lyrics earlier. It's just, your playing reminded me of something else.
Nothing too stressful, I hope. Monica, right? I've seen you around. I think we went to high school together.
We did. So what, do you hang out in front of the school at night and play guitar?
Something like that.
If you don't mind, can I stay and listen to you for a while?
Aw. Like a god, and you're like an insect. Yes. Visual novel style? So if I read slowly, the game will go ahead and I can't catch up. Fair enough. Watching a lot of subbed anime has trained me to read fast if I need to, especially when there's two conversations going on at the same time and I constantly have to switch between text at the top of the screen and at the bottom of the screen and constantly look back and forth and see whenever something changes. Like that has trained me to read relatively fast if I need to. Yeah, totally. I'm always glad to have an audience, especially one with such discernment and taste. Only a couple more songs though, and then I need to sleep.
Yeah, same here.
I'm a reasonable man, get off my case. That's all for now. The emotional Ayami theme is a free use song by Autumn. Komorita is a Japanese folk lullaby in the public domain. There we go, so that's what Yuri was going on about. The theme you're listening to now is by Empire. All new backgrounds are by Minical. Full credits are always available in the credits.txt file in the game folder. Don't forget that you can email Monica and the club at littleclub.press.monica@gmail.com. See you next time. No choices in this episode, interestingly enough. This was a very straightforward episode. One of the shorter ones with no alternate paths. BRB? You don't really gotta BRB, Spinne. We're wrapping things up. Boom, 3 hours. Just about 3 hours, yes. Very intentionally no choices. You know, after all, some choices can never be undone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for swinging by as always. I do appreciate that. It is always nice to get a little bit of extra insight sometimes. Even if it's just minor things. And like the little bit of chatting about, you know, random stuff as we do. Can't never be undone. He's so right. I know, right? It's never been said before. That some choices can never be undone. It is fun. Now, next week we will continue with the next episode. Teach, thank you for this. Bye. Thanks for being here again. Really do appreciate it. All right. Next week we'll continue. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. 40! Episode 40 will be next week. Can you believe this series has gone on for 40 episodes? Insane. Alright. Now then. I'm trying to think of someone to rate. Interestingly enough, none of my usual sus. Actually, never mind. Alex just went live this very second. I just refreshed. I looked over, saw that no one was live, hit refresh, and now Alex is live. This, I mean, I am basically just sending you over right at the start. Now, obviously, that does mean we're going to be on the starting soon screen for a bit, but I think you can manage, can't you? I think you'll be able to manage. So yeah, Alex it is, playing Hollow Knight. Not Silk Song, just regular Hollow Knight. So I guess we'll do that. Let's head on over. All right. And with that, I would like to once again thank you all for joining me. Again, I will stream again this Friday and this Saturday. On Friday, You're really using all the stuff you have. On Friday, we'll be continuing with the Retrospector mod, and on Saturday, we'll be continuing with 100 Line Last Defense Academy. We finished all endings on 2 different routes. We are 12 out of 100 endings in. 12 out of 100 endings. We are slowly but surely making our way through the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing more. But yeah, and then next week on Tuesday, we'll be doing this. Also, don't forget, on Thursday this week, there's also going to be a Genshin stream. I almost forgot to mention that. But yes, Thursday Genshin stream is also happening. We're going to finish off the currently available Not Cry story there. In any event, that is about all I have to say for today. Which means that I'm going to send out this raid now. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun with this live stream. Because I certainly had fun. Even though I had to do a lot of voices, which are cringy. And yeah, I'll see you around. And of course, if you're watching this after it's been uploaded to YouTube as a VOD, then your support has also been greatly appreciated. And you know what? If you want to, you can catch me live. You can find a link to my Twitch, where I stream every single Friday and Saturday, and sometimes other days of the week too, on a more regular basis, in the description down below. Right below the poem and the Discord link. Those are also in there, yes. We do have that poem that I'll have written by the time you're seeing this VOD. But yes, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you around. Goodbye.